Again, folks, if you are just tuning in, hi everybody. Voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. But if you are voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, help us get to 10,000 likes, hit the share button as well. We're going to jump in with our first conversation in just a minute. So again, if you are voting for Donald Trump, now is the time to join the guest request. All right. How's everybody doing? Y'all having a good day? Everybody doing good? All right, folks, again, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please do hit the like button, hit the share button, help us get to 10,000 likes. We are already almost there. You guys are a little too quick with that like button. You're too quick. We're going to get started in just a minute, okay? Sorry I'm late today with the debate. I was meeting voters across Pennsylvania. So got a little tied up. Folks, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button, help us get to 20,000 likes. You're already at 10,000 likes. That's crazy. Y'all are too quick. All right, let's try to get up our first guest. I feel like it's going to be a little slow at first. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? I guess not. All right, let's get up our next guest. Again, folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. Come on up. Let's have a chat. And if you are voting for Kamala, please keep tapping on your screen, hitting the like button, help us get to 20,000 likes, share the live stream as well. Maddie, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. And I got to ask, how old are you?
30.
Okay. And why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Well, I feel like he's not a pawn. He's not. His whole image isn't based on this line premise of who he really is. I mean, Kamala acts like she's black and she's not. She identifies as black when she's predominantly.
You're already getting weird here. So let's recognize, first off, are you a white man?
And that matters with what? Facts? Does that matter with facts?
So you as a white man shouldn't be calling out... Okay, great. So you as a Hispanic man shouldn't be calling out a black woman saying that she is or isn't black in your eyes. You don't decide if a black woman's a black woman. That black woman who is a black woman will tell you she is a black woman. Take a step back. Take a step back. Okay, excuse me. This is straight up racism. Knock it off. I'm not going to engage with the racist.
Because you know what I'm saying is true.
No, it's not. So now let's jump back into the premise of the conversation here. When I'm speaking, I need you to take a step back, okay?
Well, answer that first.
Great.
How is it racist?
I'm trying to, if you won't stop.
How is that racist?
Okay, will you stop so that I could answer?
Will you answer how that's racist?
Yeah, I'm trying to answer. Okay, do you want me to answer?
I'm waiting.
Great, so I'm going to try to answer here. So first off, you spoke about Donald Trump, and you said that he isn't a liar, that Kamala is a liar. Let's recognize here, Donald Trump is by definition a liar. Donald Trump. Okay, so you understand Donald Trump is a liar, yes or no?
Okay, I said his image. So,
all right. So we're going to start off like this. Let me make something very clear to you.
There we go.
Okay, so first and foremost, Donald Trump is a straight up blatant liar, and you know nothing. You know zilch. You know zero. Okay? So when you come up here and you start off the premise of your conversation by saying, Kamala Harris isn't a black woman and I think she's a liar, that makes zero sense. Because you are quite literally feeding into the lie that she's not a black woman. She is a black woman. And the hypocrisy with you is that you come up here and say she's a liar and not a black woman. Do you understand that you're saying that because Donald Trump lied to you and said she is not a black woman? You're a walking hypocrisy. A walking hypocrisy, okay? So now let's start again. Let's start from the get-go of the conversation, and this time I won't make it easy on you, because apparently you're confusing my intelligence and kindness for ignorance. So let's start over. Hi, can you tell me one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class and give me the percentages? Unmute, let's go. Unmute, let's go. You know how to do it. Great. Give me the percentages, give me the policy. Go.
Okay, Tax Cuts and Job Act. Let's talk about
Break it
the
down.
First Step Act, the VA Mission
Percentage.
Act,
Great. Corporate tax deduction.
Farm
Corporate tax
Bill,
deduction.
Improvement Act,
I said name a policy, give me the percentages. All right, see what he's doing, everybody? He's Googling the percentages right now while he's speaking over me. Great, so what is the corporate tax deduction? Give me the percentage. Give me the percentage.
I have to tell you percentages too?
Give me the
How can that
percentage.
even be, how can I
You
know
can't tell me the
of
percentage
how
for the
much to
corporate
help
tax
the American
deduction.
people?
So you can't tell me the
How much-
percentage
how am I
for the
supposed to
corporate
know
tax
that?
deduction.
Am I supposed to know how much
Because
this
it's
act?
basic information. Let's try
American
again.
people?
So you
How
first
can we
and
even find
foremost,
that information
listen very closely. You brought up the Jobs and Tax Act of 2017. There was a middle class and a corporate tax deduction. Give me both of those right now. What is the percentage? Go.
Okay, first of all, how am I supposed
So
to know
you don't
that?
know. Why would you bring it up if you don't know?
If I don't know if that it
If
helped
you
American
don't know
people?
how it benefited the middle class, why would you bring it up? Like, so again, my question to you was, name the policy that benefited the middle class and give me the percentages. You said the Jobs and Tax Act of 2017. I asked you for the percentages and you said, I don't know. So then why would you mention it? How do you know it benefited the middle class if you can't tell me the percentage? You've had more than enough time to ChatGPT this. Tell me what the percentage is. Go ahead. Like, what's going on with you? Was that a tough question? Was that tough? Break it
The
down.
standard
Hurry up.
deduction nearly doubled under the TCJA.
Oh, take a step back.
Increasing from
What is the
$6,350
corporate tax
to
deduction?
$200,000 for
All right, shut your
individuals.
mouth or I'll shut it for you. One more time I will ask you or you're getting kicked. You understand me? Last time I'm going to ask you. And if you're sitting here Googling it or ChatGPTing it, that ain't going to work for me. Because fun fact, if I wanted to talk to ChatGPT, I would do it myself. I don't need an ignorant middleman like you. So now tell me again, what was the corporate tax deduction? You said you don't know. Now tell me what you looked up. Go ahead. Give me the corporate. Here, I'll meet you again. So one more time and I'll repeat it. Give me the corporate tax deduction percentage right now. You have 5 seconds to say what the number is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow, and you actually don't know. That is beyond belief. So you don't know any policies, you don't know any percentages, and yet you come up here to talk about why you're voting for Donald Trump solely based off of racism. And then you want us to entertain that you have any intelligence or any inkling or any maybe profound subject of intelligence behind that little tiny brain you got there, and yet it's really just smooth like a golden retriever. Okay? We understand this? So I'm supposed to what? Entertain you? Get out of here. Get out of here. Go do some research and come back later, baby boy. That's insane. Let's get up our next guest. That was insane. That was insane. Disgusting. Hi, guest. Are you voting? Oh, Adrian, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Thank you for your love and support. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
All right. Tell me more.
Okay, well, I'm voting for Trump because when Trump is speaking to the American people and J.D. Vance, we know what their policy is. We know what their plans are. In every interview that Kamala Harris has done, from MSNBC, CNN, she gives nothing but word salad where no one knows exactly where she stands. She's been
Okay. Well, that's not true. Let's check with the chat. Chat, do you know where Kamala Harris stands? Chat, do you know where Kamala Harris stands? And yes is top comment. Okay, so guest, I want to. Oh, yes is top comment by a lot. So guest, I want to recognize something. It's not that nobody knows where Kamala Harris stands. It's that you don't know where Kamala Harris stands, and that's because you have an attention span of. I'm not done. That may be because of your attention span, and that's on you. Kamala Harris has made it very clear in her interviews where she stands. Kamala Harris has an entire website dedicated to explaining her policies. If you're not listening, then you're not learning. Do you want me to explain to you my response, or did you want to come up here and cry? Okay, so that's what I'm trying. So let me repeat again. Kamala Harris in her interviews makes very clear as to where she stands. Also, she has an entire website dedicated to her policies. And when you say that she's doing interviews and that you can't understand her, well, you know what? That's on you, and you have a process. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. So then maybe you have a processing issue, and that's fine. Learning disabilities exist. That's nothing to be upset about. People deal with every single day. People deal with it. Now, my point being is, I look at Kamala Harris and I know exactly where she stands, as do most of the people in this chat. But at least she's doing interviews. Donald Trump just skipped 60 Minutes, becoming the first president to do so. Excuse me. Why is Donald Trump running away from interviews?
If you won the debate, you don't need to.
Why is Donald Trump running away from interviews?
Because he don't have to.
No, he does. Why didn't he do 60 Minutes? Why didn't he do 60 Minutes? 60 Minutes was the most bipartisan and the largest reach a president could make over media, and he became the first president to skip it. Why? Nixon didn't skip 60 Minutes. Why did Donald Trump?
Because that's a liberal left
It's not.
program that he does
Actually,
not
it's
need
more
to-
right-leaning than
Why would he-
left-leaning. You understand that?
Why would he even entertain that?
Because it's a
People know
right-leaning media source?
People know where he stands.
No, they don't. For example, what is Donald Trump's healthcare plan? Donald Trump says he has a concept of a plan. No, baby, listen closely. So Donald Trump says he has a concept of a plan when it comes to healthcare. Can you please tell us, excuse me, excuse you. Okay, so you said that you know what Donald Trump's plans are, that we know what Donald Trump's plans are. We quite literally don't. He's been running on a healthcare plan to strip away the ACA and replace it for a decade. And at the debate, when asked about it, he said, I have a concept of a plan. Hold on. I have a concept of a plan. Can you tell us what that concept of a plan is?
To undo everything that the Democratic
That's not the
Party has
plan.
done.
You can't just take away the ACA and not replace it. What is he replacing it with?
With the plan that is going to benefit.
What is
people
the
that-
plan?
His plan is to make it
Right,
more
so you
affordable.
don't know. Okay, second question for you. Ready? Ready? One more time. Donald Trump said he was going to bring about an infrastructure package. We know he didn't, and that Joe Biden and Kamala did. But you tell me, what is Donald Trump's infrastructure package?
Well, under Donald Trump, there wasn't.
No, not under Donald Trump. What is he running on with his infrastructure package? What is his infrastructure package?
That happened under
Excuse
Biden
me.
and Harris.
Excuse me. Yes, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden gave us an infrastructure package. Donald Trump said he was going to during his first term, and now he's saying again he's going to deliver an infrastructure package, which we don't need anymore. But, however, he keeps saying he's going to give us an infrastructure package. What is that package? Do you know? You said we all know his plans. Well, clearly you must know. What is the package?
I don't know specifically.
I know
what
you
the
don't
plan
know.
is.
Right. So you don't know his healthcare plan. You don't know his infrastructure plan, but you said everybody knows his plans. You said everybody knows his plans, and that the issue with Kamala is you don't know her plans. Okay, so that's projection. So now let's ask another one here. What is Donald Trump's plan? And you should know this one. 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 What is Donald Trump's plan when it comes to the border? This one you should know.
To mass deportation.
That is it?
All the illegals.
Is that it?
Secure the border, and have a mass deportation, because under Trump there wasn't Venezuelan gang members taking over, and I live in Colorado. Okay, and
There
they
are
were
less
taking
border
over-
crossings today than there were under Donald Trump. First question, do you want to build the wall?
They were
No,
13
that's not
million
false. Do you want to build the wall? Do you want to build the wall? Do you want to build the wall?
Do I want to build the wall?
Do you want to build the wall?
It's not up to me.
Do you want to build the wall?
Yes.
Great. See how easy that was? Okay. Next question. Do you want 2,000 border agents to monitor the wall? Kelsey, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate it, Kelsey. Love you right back. Do you want 2,000 border agents to monitor the wall?
Isn't that what's happening already?
No. So do you want 2,000 border agents to monitor the wall?
Yes.
You're just going to say yes to every point in Donald Trump's plan? Yeah? You want to say no to any of these? Go ahead. Feel free to. Do you want to block illegal immigrants from seeking asylum?
That has nothing to do with it.
Yes or no? Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers?
You're asking a question that you yourself can't even answer. You give me the
I
answer.
just
then.
said, do you want to block
You're-
illegal
you're
asylum
asking a question
seekers?
that you yourself
You can't
cannot
answer?
answer.
You can't answer.
Neither can you.
So yes,
Neither
you want
can you.
illegal asylum. No,
You are-
I don't want illegal immigrants
you are
seeking asylum.
extremely
Excuse me,
delusional,
one more
just
time.
like
I just
Kamala
answered.
Harris.
I just answered.
And that's okay.
I just answered. So now can you answer the question? Can you answer the question? Can you answer the question? I'll ask it again because you seem to be processing issues again. So again, this is the processing issue with you that I'm talking about. The same way you don't know what Kamala's plan is because of your processing issue, that is taking effect right now. We're witnessing it firsthand. So one more time, do you want to block? Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers?
If they're coming to the country legally, then
Illegally, ILL. Okay, so you want illegal immigrants in the country. Got it. That's why you're struggling to answer. All right, thank you. You could just say you want illegal immigrants to seek asylum. It's not that hard. Or was I wrong? Oh, I'm wrong. Okay, so then you don't want illegal immigrants to seek asylum.
Who does?
It's got to be one or the other, right? So answer the question. Do you want to block illegal immigrants from seeking asylum, yes or no?
Yes, that should be a part of the bipartisan.
Look at how easy that was. Look at how easy of an answer that was. Next question. We could get through two more, and maybe if you don't take 10 minutes to process every question, we can move on to Kamala's policy next, and then get over this portion of the conversation, okay? Try to bear with me. It's a 7-second attention span, and I'm really trying to work with you here. So now, do you want to give millions of dollars to border states to secure the border how they see fit? Donald Trump calls this border rights. Or states' rights.
Yes, because that would benefit us from having not having to
Last
pay,
question.
so that we would not have to pay.
Do you? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guest. Thank you, guest. Thank you, guest. Okay. Last question. Then we can talk about Kamala's. Do you want to put a limit on immigration? Do you want to put a limit on immigration?
Isn't there already a limitation on?
Okay, let me explain this to you. Because apparently this really is a processing issue, and I've worked in the early education field, but this is a new one for me, and I'm not prepared for explaining something like this to somebody like you. So Donald Trump says if you have a bottle of water and you fill it up, at some point it overflows. He's going to put a cap on it.
Donald Trump is Donald Trump. You sound just like Kamala Harris, but Trump, because of Trump.
I'm trying to explain to you what his policy is. I have to say but Trump because this is Trump's policy. One more time. Listen closely. You're mistaken. You're mistaken. Okay, I have to say Trump. Hey, guest, you're not listening. I have to say Trump because this is Trump's policy. It would be very hard to explain his policy without saying his name. So one more time. Trump is saying if you fill up a water bottle, you cap it before it overfills. So he says he's going to cap the country before it overfills with immigrants. Do you want to put a cap on immigration?
Yes, I do. I believe that's the right.
See how easy it is? You don't need a whole life story and coming of age in between every goddamn question. So you want yes to the wall, yes to the 2,000 border agents, yes to the illegal, yes to the block on illegal asylum seekers, yes to the border money, and yes to the cap on immigration. You agree to all of those. Can we now talk about Kamala's? And this time, if you could not cut me off 1,000 times, that'd be great. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Great. You came up here and said that you didn't know Kamala's plans and that you knew all of Donald Trump's plans. And you just endorsed Kamala Harris's border policy thinking it was Donald Trump's. You quite literally just got tricked. You understand that was not Donald Trump's border policy. That was Kamala Harris's border policy. But you came up here, quiet time. I get it. You're upset. I get it. I'll put you on mute. Get it out of your system. Cry, rant, scream, do whatever you got to do. You just got cooked. You just got cooked like a salmon. That was awful. Yes, that was awful. You quite literally came up here and said your sole argument was that you didn't know what Kamala's policies were because she's incoherent and that Donald Trump, you know all his policies, but you didn't know his economic policy. You admitted that. You didn't know his healthcare package, you admitted that. You didn't know his infrastructure package, you admitted that. Then I tell you his border policy, and you endorsed it, but that was Kamala Harris's border policy. Are there any policies of Donald Trump's that you actually do know? Like, this is insane. Chat, can we get some L guests in the chat, please? This was insane. What you just endorsed. So here's what we're going to do. Unmute. You're going to endorse Kamala Harris now. Go ahead. You already endorsed her policy, and you don't know anything Donald Trump is running on, so you might as well endorse the candidate. Say it. Go ahead. You endorse her border policy. Go on.
She has no.
Go on. You just endorsed her border policy. That is currently on our website. So go. You just endorsed what's literally on our website. So again, answer the question here. Will you endorse her policy or admit you're a hypocrite? Will you endorse her policy or admit you're a hypocrite?
You're not tricking anybody.
So you supported the policy. You supported the policy when you thought it was Donald Trump's. You want to run away? You want to run away? I'll get the cowbell. I'll get the cowbell. You want to run? You want to run? Yeah, so let's get this right. You thought that was Donald Trump's policy, so you endorse it. You endorse Kamala. Hey, quiet time for you. Again, keep crying if you need to cry. I would be mad too if I did what you just did, but I didn't do what you just did. You did that. You endorsed Kamala's policy. You did that. That was all you. You did that. Not me. All I did was say it was Donald Trump's policy. Yeah, I lied to you. And you were dumb enough to jump for it. You said, oh, great, it's Donald Trump's policy. I support it. It was Kamala's policy. That is on our website right now, dude. Are you actually this deep in the hole that you're not willing to admit that you endorse her policy after you just endorsed it? So do you want to endorse her policy or admit you're a hypocrite? You could do one or the other. It's up to you. One or the other. Admit you're a hypocrite because you refuse to endorse the policy if it's hers, even though you just endorsed it, or endorse the policy like you just did. Go ahead. What do you want to do here? Unmute. Come on. Let's go. Unmute. Are you a hypocrite or are you endorsing Kamala's border policy? Go ahead. Let's go. So are you a hypocrite or are you endorsing the policy? Go on. Okay, so he admits he admits he's a hypocrite. Congratulations. So let's get this right. For everybody who just tuned in, this guest here came up and said, I don't know any of Kamala's policies because she doesn't make any sense, but I know all of Donald Trump's. He didn't know Donald Trump's infrastructure package policy. He didn't know Donald Trump's economic policy. He didn't know Donald Trump's healthcare plan. And he just endorsed Kamala Harris's border plan because he thought it was Donald Trump's. So it's not that you don't know Kamala's policy, guest. It's that you have a processing issue and you're not paying attention to her policy as she explains it to you. And then Donald Trump, you don't know a single policy he's running on. So again, are you a hypocrite or are you endorsing Kamala's border policy? Go ahead. Your choice. Massive thank you to Michaela for the $20. Thank you, Michaela.
Because she has no.
Michaela said, thank you for converting me to Kamala instead. Love you, Michaela. That's awesome to hear. Let's get some W Michaelas in the chat, please. Anyway, sorry, are you still talking? You just endorsed Kamala on the border. Do you really think I need anything else out of you? You just did. No, you just did.
Prove it.
Chat.
Prove it.
Okay, I will. First off, 2 points. You know this is videotaped, right? So the video of you endorsing Kamala on the border will be posted later. You understand? That was good content. I'm going to use that. Oh, now you're silent. Okay. And chat, you all watched him endorse Kamala on the border too?
No bearing on who's going to win. That has no bearing.
Cry more.
On any,
Cry more. Cry more. Bye. Let's get up our next guest. That was fun. I had a fun time. That was fun. Notice how I was like, you know this is videotaped, right? And he went quiet. He was like, what? He's like, prove it. Prove I endorsed her. I can. It's on video. Like, what? Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Oh, they ran away. Let's get up our next guest. Slowly but surely. Yeah, folks, if you like what you're hearing today and you're liking the accountability, you're liking the tricks and the fun and whatnot, feel free to support me, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, or in my bio, or hit that follow button in the top left corner and join our little family. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Help us get to 200,000 likes. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Okay, you need a sip of tea or something? Do you want to...
I had a little cough there. I'm good there.
It still sounds like you're smoking something. Anyway, so why are you voting for Donald Trump?
The economy is better. Border is better. We had no foreign wars. Those are three of the biggest things for me. I don't want more wars.
Gotcha.
I want a strong border, and I want a strong economy.
Is it easy to lie, or does it hurt knowing you're wrong? So let's recognize that on the border, one, and we'll come back to this in just a moment, on the border, one, you have less border crossings today than you did under Donald Trump. And before you say, hold on, yeah, thank you. Go look it up. So now while you're doing that, I want to explain, when you say there were no foreign wars under Donald Trump, Donald Trump oversaw one of the largest genocides and starvations in Yemen. We could talk about how he abandoned the Kurds. We could talk about how Donald Trump had more drone strikes in 4 years than in Obama's 8 years. We could talk about Afghanistan too. But I'm sure you don't want to talk about those things.
Yeah,
what I
would
want to
like
understand,
have-
I'm not
talk about
done.
how he was
What
the
I
first
want to
president
better
to not start
understand here,
a-
thank you, quiet time for you. What I want to better understand here is why are you suggesting that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris initiated the conflict between Israel and Gaza or Ukraine and Russia? Because if you're suggesting that, then you have no clue as to how foreign policy operates or how those two conflicts were initiated.
So is this how you win arguments?
This is
and
how
you
I
talk to the
explain
people?
to everybody listening in that you're ignorant. Answer the question without pivoting. So one more time.
Okay.
Why are you
So you're just gonna
suggesting
talk over
that Joe
anybody and not
Biden
let
and
anybody
Kamala
respond?
Harris answer the question? Why are you suggesting that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden initiated the conflict between Ukraine and Russia or Israel and Gaza? Do you think that this started just this year?
Yeah,
Do you think
yeah.
this started in just this term?
Okay, are you going to let me respond?
Answer. Hurry up.
yes,
I don't got all night.
Russia put a very clear red line that Ukraine cannot be offered any opportunity to join NATO. That was their red line. That was their red line. And they would not invade Ukraine. Kamala Harris was actually the one who went over to negotiate with Vladimir Putin, and then he invaded into Ukraine. There was a very clear red line. All we had to say, we had a very clear red
Okay.
line that if we just said we will not allow Ukraine
really?
to come into NATO,
Really?
that was all we
You're
had to do.
wrong! So let's recognize something. First off, Ukraine and Russia have been going at it for well over a decade. Second point being, the tipping point of this entire foreign policy crisis was Russia deciding to invade Ukraine. They did this for 2 points. One, because Ukraine wanted to join NATO. And if Ukraine wants to join NATO, they should be allowed to join NATO. Russia isn't a dictator. They don't get to decide what Ukraine gets to do. They could be a dictator in Russia. Not a dictator to the Ukrainian people. They don't get to decide. That's like saying the United States, you don't get to join NATO because Canada says so. That's not how we operate.
Well, at the
right?
same time,
so I'm not done. I ain't done. I ain't done. I ain't done, so you're done. You understand? Yeah, shut your mouth. So let's recognize something. You just suggested something really ignorant. You said that Ukraine shouldn't be joining NATO because Russia doesn't want them to. Okay, if Mexico doesn't want us joining NATO, the United States, should we listen to Mexico? No. You understand that? Okay, second point being, that has nothing to do with Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, because again, if Zelensky wants to join NATO, Zelensky can join NATO. That is not because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and if you think it is, that's your ignorance showing. Additionally, I want to recognize here that they've been going at this for a while, and Vladimir Putin has been looking for a reason to invade them. Because he wants to rebuild the Soviet Union. He made that very clear in 2019. And second point on this that I want to make very thoroughly clear for you. Poland is currently building up their arsenal and their walls. Why are they doing that? Because Poland will be next if Ukraine crumbles. Period. We've repeated this history before. Trade out Russia for Germany and you got World War II. It's the same thing. What are we going to do? You want to do it again? You want to do it again? Yeah? Okay, so unmute. Come on, unmute. Let's go, unmute. I want answers. Let's go, unmute. It's the button that looks like a microphone. If you don't know how to unmute,
Yeah,
how am I
you
supposed to?
muted-
There you
okay,
go.
yeah,
Good boy.
you
You got
muted
it.
me.
Okay,
You
so again,
muted me.
do you understand
So you
that if
muted me so
Ukraine
you could
wants
yell at
to,
me.
I'm gonna answer. I answered you. I'm gonna now give you a question
You
here.
haven't given
It's
me
very
a
easy
chance
to.
to
It's very
talk,
easy to
and you
give you a
just muted
question.
me,
One more
and
time.
you're gonna yell
Here's
at
your
me.
question, okay? If you were listening to what I said, this should be an easy question for you. You're saying that, well, Ukraine shouldn't be allowed to join NATO because Russia said so, and that's why Russia invaded them. If Mexico says to the United States that we can't close our border, or Mexico will invade us, are you going to listen and not close your border? That's your
Okay,
question.
so
that was
you
your
muted
question.
me
Stay
and
on
yelled at
it.
me
Stay
and
on
did
it.
not give me
That
a
was your
chance to talk.
question. Stop crying. Oh, you got
Yes.
yelled at.
Okay.
Grow up.
So
answer the question one more time. One more
All you-
time.
all you've
one more
done is
time. You're
talked
going to
over
stick
me
to
and
this.
not giving me a
One
chance to
more
explain.
time without pivoting. I want to say this one more time for everybody in the chat to remember the question so that you can then answer this question. You
Ukraine-
just said. Ready? I'm not
Ukraine
done.
war.
You just
Russia has
said
set
I
a
am
red
not
line
done.
in the
I will
sand
explain to you.
for the
All
last
right.
20 years.
Let me explain to you one more time what the question is, because you keep cutting me off, crying, saying you got yelled
You
at,
wanna say
and
I
then
cut-
running away. one more time before you pivot. Here was the question. And everybody in the chat, please listen to this question so that when he pivots and refuses to answer, you guys can call him out for it. Guest, the question is, you just said that Ukraine shouldn't have joined NATO or shouldn't have tried to join NATO because Russia told them not to or they would get invaded. I'm telling you, well, that begins the definition of a global dictatorship. Why should Ukraine have to listen to Russia when they're not Russian? And now I'm saying us, I'm not done. So again, thank you for pivoting. So the United States, same scenario here. If Mexico says to the United States that we aren't allowed to close our border or they will invade us, should we not close our border and listen to Mexico? That was your question. Now, chat, you all heard it. Let's see if he answers. Go ahead, guest.
Why should we be involved?
Look at that. He didn't answer. Chat, call him out for it. Go ahead. Smack him down.
You all you can do is not
so you didn't answer the question. You didn't answer the question. Why didn't you answer me? Why didn't you answer?
Because
no answer? One more time. One more time.
completely-
Let me explain it to you again. Let me explain it to you
so
again. You're gonna
again
answer
so
this.
that you can go on
I want you to understand that
another
you can
tangent that
cry.
is illogical.
You can cry as much as you want. You could yell as much as you want. I am not pivoting from this until I get an answer. So try as hard as you want.
Everybody's saying that I'm
stagnant
not
on it.
answering. You
one more
mute me
time.
anytime I
so
try to
one
give an
more
answer,
time.
so that's
You're
funny.
not muted now. Answer. Go ahead.
Yes, there was no reason for this war to start. This war did not have to start. Russia gave a red line.
Great, so you're repeating yourself. One more time. One more time. I'm going to explain this to you one more time and stay on topic. I get you're not answering because it's going to sound really dumb when you do, and I want you to give us that dumb answer. That's why I'm staying on this. So before you pivot again, one more time, I will repeat this. One more time. Try to listen. Maybe you're not listening, and maybe that's part of the issue. You said that Russia set a red line with Ukraine that they are not allowed to join NATO. Why does Russia get to decide? That's a rhetorical. That's not my question. I'm not done. That's a rhetorical. Nope, that was a rhetorical. So again, why would Russia be allowed to set the red line for Ukraine when Ukraine is a completely separate nation? Ukraine should be allowed to do what it wants. And if we listen to Russia, then you have a definition of a global dictatorship. Here is my question for you. Here is my question for you.
I have one question for you.
Mexico, thank you. Here's my question for you that I've been begging you to answer for 10 minutes now. You will answer this before we move on to the next. That is the same exact thing as Mexico telling the United States that we are not allowed to close down our border or they will invade us. Should we be listening to Mexico? Should we not close down our border at risk that they may invade us?
Say that. As a sovereign nation, Mexico or Canada should say, hey, we have a red line. You cannot expand past X, and that is, as a sovereign nation, you need to protect your borders.
Okay, so then when we get invaded by Mexico, should we not fight back? So you just said that if Mexico said to us that we can't close down our borders, we shouldn't do it to avoid an invasion, or if we do, to expect an invasion and not to fight back?
Oh, we should be at the ready, but they have, as a sovereign nation, have the ability to do that. Now
they don't have the ability to do that. That is how you lead into wars.
Ukraine joining NATO. What benefit did that do to the United States?
Has nothing to do with the United States. Has nothing to do with the United States. That's why there's no benefit in your mind to the United States, and it's right that you can't find the benefit because you are not Ukraine and you are not Russia. You have nothing to do with this. So again, taking a step back, you understand that what you just suggested here is the same way Russia told Ukraine, don't join NATO or I'll invade you, and you said that's justified and that they were allowed to be invaded because they decided to try to join NATO. You turn around and say, well, you know what? If Mexico says don't close down your borders to the U.S. or we'll invade you, then we should back down and have a wide open border. That's your stance. That is idiotic. That is so stupid. It's beyond belief. Where do we go from here? What am I supposed to say to you? You want to get back in or you want to keep ChatGPTing? You want to run away? Because I could get the cowbell. You don't got a ChatGPT. It's fine. Come back in. You know what you just said? Own up to it. Own up to it. You just... Yeah, you want to run away? We got a runner. Moo! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat, please. Moo! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. We understand that he just said Mexico would be justified to invade us. He just said Mexico would be justified to invade us. Do we understand that? If we closed our border, he said Mexico would be justified to invade us. That's not normal. Okay, anyhow. Folks, if you like what you're hearing today and you want to support me, my Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App are in my bio, and I greatly appreciate it. It all goes towards my travels. Currently today, I'm traveling the swing state of Pennsylvania, meeting some voters, which we did flip some Republicans today, so we are doing good. Trying to get up our next guest. If you are voting, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. I assume we're about to go through a couple crazy people who are probably going to say the F slur and stuff real soon. There's got to be some crazy. Hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
That's gross.
But I got a question for you. Have you
That's
heard
great.
about
So when
how
you
many
wipe off your
people
feet at the
quit from
virtual
Kamala's
doormat and
administration?
come into this
And
live
also,
stream,
you
I get the
talk like
first
you're
question.
concept of
Quiet
other-
time. Quiet time for you. So when you come into my live stream and I say, are you voting for Donald Trump? And you say, yeah, then understand that I, in fact, get to ask you the first question. But chat, you know how I just said we're going to get somebody who's going to come up and start saying the F slur or something? I assume this is going to be that guest. So let's unmute him here and find out. All right, guest. Let's see. How crazy are you? Are you going to answer the question or run away?
What's the question?
Okay, one more time. So why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Because of how horrible Kamala was in any administration. I mean, she literally lost her attorney general position in a blue state. How do you do
What
that?
are you talking about? She was twice elected.
She lost to a Republican. Who's the current
Excuse me,
attorney general in California? She lost to a Republican. 80% of her staff and her vice presidency quit.
Quiet time. First off, that's not true. Second point being, you understand that she became a district attorney, then an attorney general, and then she became two-time elected attorney general with a term limit, so she couldn't run for a third time. Also, you just said, who's the attorney general now? It's a Republican. You understand that she became a senator and had already completed her time as attorney general? Like, you understand she became a senator and then vice president? Like, do you understand that? Because you seem really confused with your timeline. You probably still think Obama's president, don't you? Okay, do you want to unmute here and try to, do you want to do a quick timeline, map it out real quick? Do you want to write it down?
Oh, you had me
you seem
muted.
confused.
What was her
Also, you just
was
said
her
the Attorney
ex-boyfriend?
General of California is a Republican, yeah?
what was her ex-boyfriend?
Hold on, you just said the Attorney General of California
She
is a
lost
Republican.
to a Republican when she lost the election for that. Yes, she did.
That doesn't
Check
make
it.
any sense.
Check the year she lost. She lost
Okay,
to a Republican
take a step
in a blue
back.
state.
One more time, listen closely. You are deeply confused and maybe you looked up the wrong candidate. Because
I
again, Kamala
Check it.
was...
Check it, then.
One more time. Kamala was term limited, and two, Kamala became a U.S. Senator. You
Okay,
understand
then
that?
she lost to a Republican.
She
in a
couldn't
blue
have,
state.
because she
And
went
also,
from
you're
district
ignoring the
attorney.
fact that 80%
All right,
of
crime
her
or hold on, one more time. You're lying about that 80% thing. We're done with that. You're not going to keep screaming that. It's just not true. Two, I want to recognize here that again, Kamala didn't lose a race. She's never lost a race, actually. She went from district attorney to attorney general to senator to vice president. You're saying, well, she lost attorney general. She didn't. She's
much are you
never
getting
lost a
paid
race.
for this live
So
stream,
one more
though?
time, quiet time. She went from district attorney to attorney general to
20,000 for this
senator
live
to
stream?
vice president. Do you this guy is actually crazy. Chat, do we see how crazy this guy is? Like the aggressive unmuting. He doesn't know. He's apparently talking about some other candidate. He's deeply confused. He thinks that Kamala lost her attorney general race. She won twice and was term limited and then became a U.S. senator. But he's out here saying she lost her race to a Republican. There is no Republican attorney general of California. Like, do you understand that you're talking about Kamala, right? Are you deeply confused? Can you stick to the point here without trying to pivot into some nonsense? It's getting really weird. All right, let's try it again. Do you understand that you're confused? Unmute. Let's go. Come on. Do you understand that you're confused?
Fact check it, dude.
Chat?
Fact check it.
Oh, I'm going to. Chat, do you understand? Tell me if I'm wrong here. Kamala was district attorney, then attorney general, then became senator, then became vice president. and never has she lost a race.
Also, how much do you get paid to
quiet
endorse
time.
Democrats?
It depends how much George Soros wants to pay me that day. Can you listen for a second?
That's
everybody
fucking
on the
funny.
okay,
That's
great.
hilarious.
So everybody says I'm right on this. Great.
You're an endorsed joke.
Quiet. I'm an endorsed joke? Who endorsed me? Anyway. Oh, he just ran away! Cry more. Moo! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Listen, apparently I'm getting paid by George Soros. That's what that guy says. So George Soros, if you're listening, my Venmo, PayPal, and my Cash App are in the bio. I don't know where the check is, but I'll be waiting, okay? Because that will go right towards my college. I appreciate it, George. Thank you, Mr. Soros. Let's get up our next guest. We haven't had one run up and say the F slur and run away giggling yet. I'm confused. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
29,
When were you born?
95.
Ew. Why are you voting for a felon?
I think that was weaponized.
You think it was you think it was political persecution? Really?
Yeah, why not?
What do you mean why not?
You asked me, I said, yeah, why not?
Is that an adequate response? Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? You know, political persecution, why not?
Now
That's
you
not
sound
like, hey, that's not like me saying, hey, do you want pizza for dinner? And you saying, why not? You're saying it was political persecution. Why not? Charlotte, thank you so much for the $3 from George Soros.
Well,
thank you, George, for the $3.
Kamala.
So you just basically said the equivalence of, do you want pizza tonight? Yeah, why not? When it comes to 34 felonies, civil liability when it comes to fraud and being found liable of sexual abuse. Yeah, same thing. Okay. Sure,
So that's
pizza
how
and
it seems
sexual
to me.
abuse, all the same. So let's break this down again. You're saying it's political persecution for Donald Trump?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So was it political persecution for Hunter Biden?
Well, I mean, on that whole issue.
No, now it's not for Hunter Biden?
Well, they didn't even charge him. They didn't
So
even get
you're a hip. Okay, hold on. Hunter Biden's a convicted felon. So is Donald Trump. They could quite frankly share a cell together after sentencing. So will you tell me again? Was Hunter Biden political persecution? You said Donald Trump was, and we know that Hunter Biden is more politically relevant, right? His father is the current sitting U.S. president. Donald Trump is just a private citizen. So tell me again, is it not political persecution for Hunter Biden then?
It possibly could be.
You said you know for certain it was for Donald Trump. How do you not know for certain it was for
didn't say
Hunter
it was
Biden?
for certain.
You
I said
did.
why-
You
why
did.
not?
You said it was political persecution for Donald Trump. Now you're saying, well, maybe it's political persecution for Hunter Biden. Is it or is it not political persecution for Hunter Biden?
Yeah, that's how they get down. That's how both sides get down.
So it was political persecution.
Maybe, yeah.
Where am I supposed to go from here? If every answer you give has zero confidence in it because you haven't had a self-becoming, apparently, I don't know what to do with you. If every answer is going to be maybe, I don't know, why not? That's not going to make for an adequate conversation.
Well,
Do you have any courage or a spine?
You asked me if I'm voting
Great.
for him. That's
So
how
then
you said.
be
You didn't say
confident in your
why.
response.
You
If
didn't
I
say
needed
why.
to talk to somebody who was clueless, I would pick up the phone and call Melania Trump. Okay? So again, you said it was political persecution for Donald Trump. Is it political persecution for Hunter Biden? Yes or no?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So you just think it's political persecution for anybody in politics, and that we should just not charge those within politics for their crimes. Is that an accurate statement? You're just suggesting, well, if they're in politics, it's political persecution if they committed a crime. In that case, why wouldn't everybody just go run for the presidency and then commit however many crimes they want? They could just claim it's political persecution. Get away with whatever crime you want to get away with, so long as you're running for the presidency.
You can try.
Yeah, Donald Trump did try. Now he's being held accountable for it, right?
Well, I mean, all Democrats like Donald Trump up until now. So what's going on there?
What does that even mean? All Democrats like Donald Trump until now? When did Democrats like Donald Trump up until? What date did it stop? Go ahead. What date did it stop? What date did he stop getting liked by Democrats? Go ahead.
I say when he started running for president in 2000.
Well, that's not true. So when did it stop? Well, I don't know. Maybe it stopped, for example, after he took out full-page advertisements in the New York Times saying that 5 exonerated innocent black men should be unalived for some crime that they didn't commit. It could have happened around that time, or maybe it happened when Donald Trump, defrauded and scammed college students with Trump University, which was an unaccredited university. Maybe it happened after he scammed numerous middle-class consumers with his fraudulent casino, or Trump water, Trump vodka, Trump airline, which literally crashed, not figuratively. The plane went pew. We could also talk about Trump Football League. I mean, maybe it stopped then when he was a failed businessman. I don't know. It really could have been at any time, huh? Maybe Democrats stopped liking him when he suggested that Barack Obama wasn't born in the United States and had to provide a birth certificate to him for Donald Trump to believe it, solely because he was the first black president. I mean, because he wasn't asking Bush for his birth certificate or Clinton for her birth certificate, just Barack Obama. Okay. Maybe that's when Democrats stopped liking him. Just a thought, though. Just a thought.
Yeah, fine. That's fine. But didn't Joe Biden say he was going to forgive all these student loans? That didn't happen.
Yes, it did.
That didn't happen.
It did happen.
I know tons of people personally
it did
that tried to get it done, and it didn't happen.
It did happen.
So what?
It did happen. I just told you it happened.
Just because you said it happened doesn't mean that it
So one more time, they were forgiven. Why were they not? Why were they not inevitably forgiven though? Because Donald Trump's 3 Supreme Court justices overturned his plan. That's what happened. So Donald Trump blocked that plan from taking place. Now, mind you, this is as ignorant as saying Joe Biden didn't protect the right to choose when Donald Trump is the guy who overturned Roe v. Wade. This is as ignorant as saying Joe Biden didn't pass that package to secure the border when Donald Trump was the guy who blocked the border bill, according to your party. Mitch McConnell and Speaker Mike Johnson called him out for this. So this is ignorant. Hold on, this is ignorant. So again, you're pointing your finger at Joe Biden for something Donald Trump did. Joe Biden said, here's a plan to secure the border. Donald Trump said, nope, not letting my Republicans vote for it. Joe Biden said, I'm going to protect the right to choose. And Donald Trump said, nope, my Supreme Court justices are going to overturn it. Joe Biden said, you know what? We are going to implement a plan to forgive student debt. And Donald Trump said, nope, Supreme Court, overturn it. And then you're going to point your finger at Joe Biden instead of Donald Trump. That's hypocritical, don't you think? Don't you think?
Not at all.
Not at all. No, well, it is. Let me break that news to you. That's hypocritical. So point your finger at Donald Trump. Will you hold Donald Trump accountable for blocking the student loan package? Yes or no?
I mean, there was plenty of other people.
So you
that didn't sign
won't.
it
Will you
either.
hold Donald Trump
it wasn't
accountable
just
for
him.
blocking the border
It
bill?
wasn't
Yes
just
or
him.
no? Will you hold Donald Trump accountable for blocking the border bill? Yes or no?
He was one of the people.
So
that
you
did
won't.
that.
Will you hold Donald Trump accountable for overturning Roe v. Wade? Yes or no?
What are you trying to do here?
Get an answer out of you. Yes or no?
Well, you don't
Okay,
let
so
me
you
ask
won't.
any questions.
So you won't. That's pathetic.
You don't let anybody ask anybody anything on here.
If I gave you the chance to ask a question, you would probably ask something like, where did mommy go? Okay, but go ahead, try to ask.
So my thing really on why I want to vote for Trump is because all of these immigrants that are coming in here, in 4 years, they're going to be able to vote. And who are they going to vote for? A Republican will never be in the House again, and it will be all Democrats forever for on out. So we need to vote now for him to stop that.
Oh, we're delirious. Oh, we're delulu.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
That's
over
beyond
here.
delulu.
No, it's not.
That is beyond delusional, what you just
Yes.
said.
That's not.
Okay, let's recognize something. Do you want to secure the border in its entirety?
Well, we need to, yes.
Great. So then again, Kamala Harris put forth a border bill that would have done exactly
There
that,
was
and Donald
other
Trump
things
blocked
in
it.
that bill,
Nope, they
man.
took him out. And then not only
There
that,
were other things in that bill.
I get you. Then they took it out and did a standalone border bill. And in fact, Mike Johnson passed the plan to fund Ukraine and didn't pass the border bill. So again, he took out the foreign aid that you're talking about and passed that, but didn't pass the border bill. Why not? Because politics. So again, there was a border bill on the ground that Mike Johnson and the Republican Party endorsed until Donald Trump said, don't support that. Otherwise, I can't run on the border if it's secure. We know this because Mitch McConnell and Senator Tillis, among numerous other senators, came forth and made very clear Donald Trump made phone calls to congressional Republicans to block the bill. So will you hold Donald Trump accountable for that? Because this conversation about the border would be redundant if it wasn't for him. Like, Donald Trump got exactly what he wanted. You and I are fighting about whether or not we should close the border
I'm not fighting.
because Donald Trump blocked the bill. He got exactly what he wanted. He blocked the bill so that you and I could fight like this in front of 2,000 people about why the border is not closed today. Do you understand that? Great. So again, will you hold Donald Trump accountable, denounce him right now for blocking the border bill that would have done exactly what you wanted? You won't. Great. Do you want to build the wall?
Well, Kamala does.
You want to build the wall?
Kamala does.
I'm asking you. Do you have any original thoughts? Do you want to block? Do you want to block this bill I'm about to talk about, or do you want to respond to it? Do you want to build the wall?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you want 2,000 border agents to monitor the wall, or do you just want to leave the wall there alone?
Well, that doesn't make any sense to leave it alone.
Okay. So you want the 2,000 border agents? Yes or no?
Make it 3.
Perfect. I love that. Great. Do you want to block illegal immigrants from seeking asylum in America?
Of course, that's what I just said.
Those words didn't come out of your mouth, but okay.
Well, that's what everybody's saying to get here, so yeah.
Do you want to put a limit on immigration?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And do you want to give border states money to secure the border how they see fit? It's called states' rights. Do you want that or not?
Well, yeah, it's less power for the government.
Great. Now, what's your first name, by the way?
AJ.
AJ, do me a favor. Now say, my name's AJ, and I just endorsed Kamala Harris on the border. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead. Do it. Floor's yours.
I'm not saying that.
Well, you just did it, so you might as well say it. Go ahead.
You're good at what you do, man.
I'm
You're
well
good.
aware. So you just endorsed Kamala Harris on the border policy. Say your name is AJ and that you endorse her on the policy. You might as well own up to it. Show you got a spine. Go ahead.
You're crazy.
Not really. Do you know what's crazy? Endorsing Kamala Harris on the border policy when you said you have an issue with her border policy. Angela, thank you so much for the $10. Love you right back. Thank you, Angela. So tell me again, will you endorse Kamala on the border policy? You just did it, so you might as well say it.
No, I'm not saying it.
You know, you won't say it because you're a hypocrite, yeah? You don't have a spine. At least when I make a mistake like you just did, where you think you're endorsing Donald Trump's policy and yet you're actually endorsing Kamala's, I would own up to it. You won't. That shows that you have zero spine. You have zero spine. You understand that? Zero spine.
How?
You know how. You just admitted how.
Not at all.
Prove it. Endorse Kamala on the border. You just said that you endorsed her on the border policy. You didn't know it was hers. Then you find out it's hers and you no longer support it? What happened? You don't support everything you just said you support? Oh, you don't support it now because it's Kamala's, yeah? That's weird.
I never said it
That's
wasn't.
crazy.
I never said it wasn't. Just because she said
yeah,
something,
you thought it was Trump's. Now you know it's Kamala's. So will you endorse Kamala on the border policy? Go down. Go on. Go do it. Go ahead.
Hey, they're on both sides. On both sides.
Yes,
of the fence.
go on. I like the nervous
Good idea.
laughter. I appreciate it. Again, thanks for the nervous laugh. Jump back into the answer here. You just endorsed Kamala's border policy step by step, point by point. I tell you it's Kamala's and not Donald Trump's. And now what? You're saying you won't endorse her on it. That's insane. That's insane.
I'm not endorsing anybody.
You're voting for Donald Trump.
I'm not in. Why would I endorse her?
Because you just endorsed her border policy, point by point?
Just because
Do you want to play a second level of this? Because we could do the same thing with the economy. I bet you. I bet you. Hold on. Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Don't mean they're going to do it.
But she did do it. Again,
No.
Donald Trump blocked the bill.
She could have done it.
So you're saying she could have done it. She did do it.
She could have done it 2 years ago.
She could have done it. She did do it.
She wants
Donald
to do
Trump
it now,
blocked
so She
it.
can look like some savior.
Donald Trump blocked it. Okay.
I mean, okay.
So
Okay.
what? Do you want to move on to level 2 of me tricking you into endorsing Kamala Harris? Because we could do this with the economy. We could do this with healthcare. We could do this with abortion. Where you want to go from here, huh?
Yeah,
We could do this all night. By the end of this, I bet you I have you as a Kamala supporter, and you'll still be too shy to admit it.
I'm not a Kamala supporter.
You just endorsed her border policy. You might as well be, huh?
She was selected, not elected.
That doesn't make any sense.
It
Donald
does.
Trump, by definition, was selected, not elected, right?
Oh, everybody voted for him before.
They literally didn't. He lost the popular vote. It was because of the Minority Inclusivity Act that threw him into office. Which, for mind you MAGA Republicans who talk about DEI a lot, you understand Donald Trump is the definition of a DEI candidate, right?
I don't believe
The minority
I don't
candidate
believe
was
in the
put
concept. I
into.
don't
Thank you. I'm
believe
not
in any
done.
of it.
So you have a minority candidate here, Donald Trump, where the minority of Americans supported him, and yet he was put into the presidency to oversee the majority because of inclusivity. That, by definition, is DEI. So let's recognize here, y'all are hypocrites through and through on everything. So tell me again, why are you voting for Donald Trump? It's obviously not because of the border. You just endorsed Kamala on the border, so
Well,
explain it to me. Go ahead.
Well, he's the most well-known businessman to ever live in the United States.
What?
What? I mean, how many cameos was he doing in the 90s? Everybody wanted to be Donald Trump up until now.
How many cameos he was doing in the 90s.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're
everybody-
saying because he was in Home Alone, that makes him famous. No, okay, first off, you could talk about Mark Cuban or any other billionaire and businessman. There are people doing far better than Donald Trump without the 6 bankruptcies and the $488 million in debt.
Hey,
I don't
sometimes
care
you
if Donald
fall
Trump was
down.
doing cameos
Sometimes
with
you
George
fall
Santos
down,
on that
buddy.
little app. So again, let me
Sometimes you
understand
fall
this.
down.
How is Trump University? Oh, right. Trump Casino? Oh, right. Trump Water, Trump Vodka, Trump Steak, Trump Airline, Trump Football League. Should I keep going? Trump Watches.
That's okay. Some people fail.
Right.
you
How is
know?
Truth Social stock as we speak right now? Tanking. Sunshine, thank you so much for the $5. Love you right back, Sunshine. So tell me again, why are you voting for the felon? This time, try to speak coherently. Go ahead.
It just seems more smarter. That's all.
It seems more smarter. Those words just came out of your mouth. It seems more smarter. That was ironic. It just seems more smarter to vote for Donald Trump. Okay. That was ironic. More smarter.
More smart. Whatever.
Okay. So why is it more smarter to vote for Donald Trump? Go ahead.
I just told you in the beginning.
You didn't. Actually, at the beginning, you endorsed Kamala Harris on the border. That's what happened
Never
here.
getting a chance. That's it. That's what I just said.
That doesn't make any sense.
How doesn't it?
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, don't believe it then.
It's not a believe or not believe. It's an incoherent remark you just made. That's like saying that pigs can fly and me saying that makes no sense and you saying, well, then don't believe it. Huh? So again, why are you voting for Donald Trump? Can you explain it?
Dude, I just told you.
Is that the alarm for you to take your pill because you're sundowning right now? Do you want to go take that? Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, somebody followed me. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Congrats. You got one. Yay. Okay. So again, I guess somebody's got to follow you, right? There's got to be other crazy people out there. So tell me again, why are you voting for the felon, the sexual abuser, the civil fraudster? Go ahead.
I told you that already.
You didn't. Instead, you endorsed Kamala Harris on the border. That's what you did. So why are you voting for him? And he ran away. We got a runner! Moo! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat, please. Cow emojis in the chat. Moo! We got a runner. We got a runner. Oh, my bell broke. We got a runner. Let's herd the cattle. All right, let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button. Help us get to 300,000 likes. Madison, thank you so much for the $20 for Soros. So from George Soros. George Soros said bye-bye. Thank you, Madison. Thank you, George Soros. Thank you, George Soros, for my... yeah, so that guest was saying I was paid for by George Soros, and I'm like, listen, if George Soros is here, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in the bio. I'll put it right towards my college. Oh, this guest already ran away. Let's get up the next one. I love the runners. I agree. The runners are great. They really get a workout in. Collins, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
You're disgusting.
Tell me something I don't know.
Why are you voting for the person that released a bunch of people that raped and killed people?
I'm voting for Kamala, not Donald Trump. And just because Donald Trump released himself doesn't mean anything. But again, so let's recognize I'm voting for Kamala Harris off of numerous reasons. First, she was a district attorney, attorney general, senator, vice president. Kamala Harris, the woman who by all odds was never supposed to become a district attorney, let alone a vice president, because every card was socioeconomically stacked against her as a black middle-class woman. Now, mind you, she persevered. And she never forgot her middle-class roots because unlike Donald Trump, she didn't have everything fed into her mouth on a silver spoon as she sat and crapped on a golden toilet. toilet. Kamala Harris gave us the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS and Science Act, the infrastructure package, and then fought on social issues like abortion rights and the Respect for Marriage Act. Something where Donald Trump, if he mentioned the Respect for Marriage Act, it was to strip away marriage equality from LGBTQ plus Americans, or to strip away transgender Americans from serving in our military. They want to put their lives on the lines to protect your life and my life, but we're going to take them out of the military? Yeah, that makes sense. And then you have Kamala Harris, who says we're going to protect the right to choose, and if you choose to have a baby, here's a $6,000 permanent child tax credit. Donald Trump, who uses pro-life as a cover-up to cover up his pro-forced birth stance. You know that Donald Trump doesn't have a single policy that benefits a mother after she gives birth financially. Okay? And we could go on and on
Wait,
with this.
how
We
do
could
you
talk,
feel-
I'm not done. We could talk about how you MAGA Republicans project on Kamala Harris. You MAGA Republicans project on Kamala Harris. You say she's going to take her pew-pews. Yet in reality, Donald Trump is the only modern-day president to have violated the Second Amendment, and that's not me saying that. That's his own Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett, who wrote the introduction, overturning his bump stock ban. That's his own Supreme Court saying he violated the Second Amendment and the Constitution. You MAGA Republicans project and say Kamala's not a candidate. Kamala was enshrined as the candidate when Donald Trump incited an insurrection and tried to overthrow the election. You MAGA Republicans project and say, well, you know what? Kamala is going to 9 months of abortion, blah, blah, blah. When she has a pro-life policy and Donald Trump doesn't have a single pro-life policy in his platform, it is solely about taking away the right to choose and not supporting a mother financially after she gives birth. So you tell me, why are you voting for Donald Trump, the convicted felon, sexual abuser, and civil fraudster? Go ahead, try to speak here. Let's see if you could get a word out coherently. Brittany, thank you so much for the $20, by the way. Love you, Brittany. I appreciate
because
it.
the
That's so nice.
blue-collar people were richer during his time. The people that actually worked had more money in their pockets. The economy was better. People could afford to go get groceries. People could buy houses. People that were 18 and above could actually
Let's
buy
get some
houses.
thanks Obamas in the chat. Thanks,
what?
Obama. Let's get some thanks Obama in the chat. First off, let's recognize something. Just because Jeff Bezos is wearing a blue collar on a Wednesday, I'm not done. Just because Jeff Bezos is wearing a blue collar on a Wednesday doesn't mean that Jeff Bezos is a blue collar worker. If you're saying blue collar workers were doing better under Donald Trump, then you don't know what a blue collar worker is, okay? Because Donald Trump's economy was not for the middle class or the working class. It was for corporations. For the premise on this basis, you look no further than the Jobs and Tax Act of 2017. What percentage of a tax deduction did Donald Trump give to the middle class? Go ahead.
8%.
No, try again.
Okay,
And you
tell me
sounded
then.
so confident in that too.
Yeah, because I am
Who
fucking
told you
confident.
8%?
Look it up. You don't even know how to fucking use
I
your
have.
research.
So again, what was the percentage? Try again.
You tell me then if you know it all.
I'm asking you to tell me.
Okay,
Go
I'm
on.
saying that I don't know, so you
Yeah,
tell me.
okay. Let's try again. What was the percentage for the corporations?
1%?
1% for corporations, 8% for the middle class. Are you out of your mind?
Are you out of your mind? You're still
Let's
voting
try
for
this
Kamala.
again. So Donald Trump gave 14% to corporations and 1 to 2% to the middle class. 2% if you were a good boy or a good girl that year. Okay? Now let's recognize those
So you only said
pennies he
good boy
tossed
and
into
good
the
girl?
pocket of the middle class did nothing in comparison to the $230 billion tax hike that middle class Americans got from his god-awful tariffs, like the 15 to 25% tariff he put on agriculture that led to farmers closing down their farms, and if they didn't, offsetting the newly found export surplus and supply and demand issue they faced by raising costs of middle class consumers through small businesses. Donald Trump's economy didn't help small businesses. His economy didn't help farmers. His economy was raising taxes on middle class consumers. But you're up here saying, well, he was good for middle class consumers and he only gave 1% to corporations, 14% to corporations. Middle class got 1%.
so
You're
why did
confused.
all
I
the
ain't done.
small businesses
So now I want to
around
ask
here-
you to
I don't know
justify
if you
this. Why would Donald Trump give 1% and a temporary tax cut that expires next year to the middle class, but a double-digit permanent tax cut to corporations? Go ahead.
Maybe because corporations run this world and middle class doesn't.
Oh, really? Do you think that your economy wouldn't crash and burn without the middle class? If the middle class
No,
wasn't
the
here,
economy
you
is part of the
understand.
middle class.
Hold on. The middle class, if they were not here, you understand your economy would crash and burn. Okay, so when you say the middle class doesn't run the world, corporations do, that doesn't make sense. Because I can live without Microsoft, but yet if nobody is operating the economy via the middle class and the working class Americans that you were just talking about, so I thought you were an advocate for them, I guess you're not. You understand that we couldn't live then, right? You can't live without the middle class.
Yes, but you also
Great.
cannot live without those big corporations.
I could literally live without Microsoft. Yeah, I'd be fine.
Okay, that's a big
Thank you very
corporation,
much.
but what
So
about
now
the food
again, I
ones?
want to recognize something here. You just slapped
let-
down the middle
let-
class
let
and
me
spit in
talk.
their face. You just said that the corporations are more important than the middle class, that we could survive without the middle class, that we can't survive without corporations. Chat, do you agree with that? Chat, I want to know, do you agree with that? Because I think the middle class is the economy. Apparently, this guest disagrees. Says middle class doesn't matter, corporations do. Like, okay, so it looks like you're on your own here, Collins. Looks like nobody's agreeing with you there. So let's better understand
yeah.
this. Thank
One
you.
more
Let's better
person.
understand this. Why are you simping for corporations?
Simping for corporations.
Yeah.
Simping is a part of love.
Go ahead, yeah. So why are you crushing on these corporations? Go on.
Can we go back to the small business one, actually?
I'd like to know the corporations here. Why are you simping for them? Go ahead, break it down.
Because how do you live without food? You can't. Big corporations that
You could get food from the farmers that Donald Trump slapped down with his 15 to 25% tariff on produce.
No,
So
no,
again,
he
before you
shut
make
down
the
the
case as to
smaller
why
farms
you're
and
for
introduced the
corporations
big
because you want to support produce production, recognize that Donald Trump hurt farmers, like those in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Now, again, my question to you is, why are you suggesting that corporations are more important than the middle class? And why do you feel as though they should get a far larger and permanent tax cut instead of the middle class? Go ahead and break that down.
When did I say that the corporations were more important than the middle class?
Chat.
Exactly, you can't.
Hold on. I'm asking the chat. Chat, did he say that? You know
don't
this
give
is
a shit what the
videotaped,
chat
right?
says.
Hold on, pardon me. You know this is videotaped, right? Did I forget to mention that? I videotape my live streams, just so you know.
Okay. Go
Okay,
show me
and
that.
you did indeed say that. Everybody heard it. Or are you saying that everybody in this chat is wrong? Like everybody's wrong, you're saying? You know? They're all
Oh, no,
wrong?
I never said everyone's wrong.
Great. So then my point stands. You said that corporations are more important than the middle class, and so they deserve the largest
No, I said
tax
the middle-
cuts.
I said the
No,
corporations run the world. I
no,
never said that
you
they're
said
more important.
corporations are more important than the middle class, and that is why they deserve larger and more permanent tax cuts. So justify that. Go ahead.
Show me where I said that.
You said it. If you want to backtrack because you understand how stupid it sounds, that's fine. But then admit that you should be backtracking because it sounded stupid. Don't try to gaslight me and the 2,000 people in this chat into thinking you didn't say that. We all
These
heard you.
2,000 people are a bunch of fucking idiots that are voting for Kamala just like you.
Okay. Got out of your system? You done crying? You
You're
good?
the one crying.
So you got slapped down because you
What about-
recognize
wait,
how
what about
dumb.
all the small
Quiet
businesses
time
that
for
are
you.
succeeding?
Cry more. So you just said. You just insulted everybody here. Let's get some baby bottles in the chat, by the way. You just insulted everybody here, including MAGA Republicans who are in the chat, who were trying to defend you. Now they're calling you an idiot. Rightfully so. Rightfully so, they're mad at you now because you just insulted them too. You just insulted everybody and threw a temper tantrum because I'm forcing you to remain accountable to what you said. You said corporations are more important than the middle class. You said America could live without the middle class. You said the corporation should receive the largest tax cuts and permanent tax cuts instead of the middle class because they're more important. You said that we can't live without corporations, but we could live without the middle class. These are your words. Now you're saying you didn't say that. Okay. So then you understand you were wrong, but then admit that. Own up to that. Okay? Go ahead. Unmute. Own up to it. Go on. Own up to that. Okay? Now you have an echo. Click out, go to your homepage and come back in. Go to your homepage and come back. Hurry up. You have 10 seconds before I bippity boppity boop you out of this live. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you know how to do it. Let's move on. On the count of 3, everybody, because of this guest insulted everybody, say hocus pocus, and you get to kick him out. 1, 2, 3. Hocus pocus. Oh, it didn't work. Sometimes this wand is a little funky. On the count of 3, everybody, let's try it again. We'll try a different spell. Hocus pocus. Still didn't work. One more time, guys. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Bippity boppity boop. Poof! Oh, he's gone! See, guys, sometimes you gotta use the right spell. I had the wrong spell going. Thank you so much, Scott, by the way, for the $5. And thank you, Craig, for the $15. That is so nice. Thank you for the Venmos. I appreciate the support and love, folks. Thank you so much. Let's get up our next guest. You know, I'm surprised nobody's ran up and said the F slur yet. They normally run up crying. Let's see if we'll get one here.
Hello?
Guest, are you voting for Donald Trump?
I am.
That's disgusting.
I just got a question though,
Okay, great. So why are you voting for the felon?
because I feel like what he says is actually the truth of what he's.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, well, it's giving 14, so let's try to do something coherently here. Why are you voting for the felon? Try again.
Because what he says he's gonna do, he's actually gonna do it.
That doesn't make any sense. Did he do the healthcare plan? He said he was going to replace the ACA. Where's the healthcare plan? Okay, so he didn't do that. He said he was going to deliver an infrastructure week, an infrastructure package. He did neither. Or did he? Do you remember what that infrastructure package was? Tell us. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, you can't because he didn't. Did he build the wall? Oh, he didn't. Did Mexico pay for it? Oh, they didn't. Okay, yeah. So yeah, he does everything he says. Unless it's in his policy, then he doesn't do it.
What about Kamala though?
Kamala.
Whatever.
Not really whatever. I mean, English is pretty simple, right?
You're right. But Kamala.
I know. So again, now you understand Kamala's policies, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know how she said like she's gonna
Right.
legalize weed.
Okay, so Kamala said I was going to do an Inflation Reduction Act, and she gave it. Kamala said we're going to do the infrastructure package that Donald Trump refused to implement. She delivered. Kamala Harris said we're going to cap insulin costs. She did. Kamala Harris said, you know what? We're going to do the Respect for Marriage Act, and she did. Kamala Harris said, you know, let's try the American Rescue Plan. Bippity boppity boop. There you go. So again, who's accomplishing what they said they would accomplish? I mean, Kamala gave us a border bill, and Donald Trump shut that down too. Like, you understand that Kamala was accomplishing too much, so Donald Trump felt as though he needed to stop her? You understand that she literally almost gave us the largest border package in our history, and Donald Trump stopped it because it was scary to him that she was about to accomplish something that historic.
Where's the
Yeah?
proof in that?
Mitch McConnell, Mike Johnson, Senator Tillis, the Republican caucus, your own caucus, said that Donald Trump shut down the border bill. Do you not remember this? This was like a year ago. This wasn't a long time ago.
Yeah, but Trump's like he's still like a better president.
That doesn't make any sense. In fact, 154 presidential historians and experts who have served in administrations ranked Abraham Lincoln as the best president and Donald Trump as the worst in our country's history. You understand that?
Do you know like gas prices right now?
Yeah, they're at pre-pandemic levels. Did you know that inflation is also at pre-pandemic levels? 2018, it was 2.4%. Today, inflation is 2.4%. Do you want to talk about any more Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's accomplishments? You're not helping yourself.
You're saying gas prices is going down?
Yes.
Even though gas
Do you want
prices
to? Do you want to
is
say
rising
anything that's
when
gonna?
Trump's time?
Before we talk about the economy, and I'm more than happy to, I want to help you here, and I'm going to pretend you didn't mention it. If you want to talk about something else, if you talk about the economy again, I will do it. But I don't think that's what you want. So I'm gonna hold on. Let me turn off my air conditioner. Hold on. Rethink that. Rethink that. I'm gonna let you do a redo. I'm gonna let you do a do-over. Take a moment. Take 10 seconds. Go ahead. Think about what you want to do. Go on. Think about it. Okay. All right. Let's try it again. I'm back now. Go on. Oh, he ran away. Yeah, that's what I figured. We got a runner. No. Oh. No. No. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat, please. We got a runner. We got a runner. We got a runner. A sad runner. Let's get up our next guest. Folks, if you want to support me and you like what you're hearing today, feel free to do so. It supports my travels and it also supports my college fund. My Venmo, PayPal, my Cash App are in the bio. Hello, Joe. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I am voting for Donald Trump.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, I know it's disgusting, but you're just
Hey, as long as you know.
I was scrolling through my feed and listening to all your rhetoric, and I cannot wait until November 6th comes around. And you got
Did you just say November 6th? Oh my gosh.
You woke liberal. I'm
Don't
out.
forget, this guest just said November 6th. He can't wait until November 6th. Don't forget, Republicans, vote on November 6th, not a day sooner. November 6th. Thank you, Joe, for that reminder. November 6th, everybody. This guest really just said, I can't wait until November 6th. Okay, guest? Here's an idea. You know what? Nobody tell him. Nobody tell him. He's already running away. What's going on here? Guess where you going? My voice is still coming out of your cell phone because you didn't leave the live stream. You understand that? You're trying to run away, but you can't even do that right. The same way you don't know when you're supposed to vote. So the election's November 5th. Not on the 6th. There you go. You got it. Good boy. He really just said, I can't wait until I vote on November 6th. What do you mean you can't wait to vote on November 6th? Huh? Allie, did you just hear that nonsense? Don't forget, Allie, don't vote a day sooner. November 6th. Allie, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump? Okay, bye, Allie. We'll miss you. Let's get up our next guest. He goes, I can't wait until I vote on November 6th. On November 6th. Okay. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. And are you voting on November 6th?
No.
Okay.
That would be kind of stupid.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be? You're already doing better than the last guy, huh? So why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Okay, so with Kamala and her past, because I'm from California.
I don't really care where you're from. You could be from Mars for all I care. Why are you voting for Donald Trump? This time, try not mentioning Kamala. It's pretty easy. I'm saying vote for Donald Trump, not why are you voting against Kamala. Do you have a reason to vote for the felon?
Yes, I do. I agree with the fact of the abortion. You
agree with the fact the abortion.
Let me finish.
Ma'am, I want to let you do a restart. Try again. That was incoherent. You agree with the fact the abortion. Okay, that was not
That's why I
coherent.
was trying to finish. And that's why I said, let me finish, please.
Okay, but that was giving Jimmy Carter giving a State of the Union in 2024. You need to take a step back and try to reword what you just said, and this time in a coherent manner.
Okay, so the banning of abortion to a point, like Trump said, up to a certain amount of weeks. I'm not sure if 6 weeks is fair enough. I think maybe about 12 weeks. And I think also with it being medical emergency or rape, or the R thing, I'm sorry, I'm new to talking on.
I can tell you're new to talking, yeah.
I'm sorry. I kind of get a little nervous.
Get over it. Continue.
Anyways, where medical emergencies, incest, assaults, I think those should be allowed. I don't think, and this, has where women use it for
Okay, I'm going to do you a
late
public
terms.
service. I know you said that you didn't want me to cut you off, but I'm going to do you a public service, Finding Dory, and I'm going to cut you off here and I'll help you out. So again, do you support abortion in the instance of rape, incest, life of the mother? Yes or no? And she ran away. She got shy. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. We got a runner. No. Thank you so much, Christina, for the $10. Christina sent $10 and said, for being new to talking. Thank you, Christina. Let's get up our next guest. That was wild. That was a wild guest right there. She was like, I'm new to talking. I'm like, I can tell. She really thought she was getting like empathy out of me or something. No, not when you're trying to strip away the rights of women. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, gosh, it's okay. Don't be nervous. No, be nervous. Yeah. Be real nervous. Be nervous to talk to me. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get up our next guest. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? 3, 2, 1. Bippity boppity boop. Next up. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you haven't already, though, please hit that like button. Help us get to 400,000 likes. If you do want to support me and you like what you're hearing today, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in the bio. Skipper, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
That's disgusting. How old are you?
19.
You're a first-time voter and you're picking the felon, sexual abuser, civil fraudster. Wow.
That true.
Mommy and Daddy must be so proud. Hold on. So let me get this right, and I mean this very respectfully. I mean this sincerely. Shh, quiet time. I mean this sincerely. I'm supposed to have a 19-year-old MAGA Republican, like a MAGA Trumper, come up here. Somebody who clearly doesn't understand the economy because you're voting for Donald Trump. Hold on. Quiet time. You're going to come up here. All right. Don't passively aggressive. Like, don't do the whole passive aggression, unmute. Just stop it. Somebody put you on mute. This is my point, right? you're up here crying, you're passively aggressively like unmuting yourself. That's my point. You're a child. Yeah? Because adults don't act like this. That's why I put you on mute. So again, let's recognize quiet time. See that everybody in the chat notice what he's doing here with the passive aggressive unmuting. This is my point. This is my point. See, this is my point. You are a child. Let's get up the next guest. Listen, if you're going to say you're 19, at least, make sure that your voice dropped first. Just a thought. Just a thought. Like, I'm going to have a 19-year-old Trumper come up here and tell everybody why they think Donald Trump's economy was better when they sound like they're waiting for the tooth fairy. Heather, thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate it, Heather. Thank you so much. Carmine, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Carmine. Bye, Carmine. Let's get up our next guest. Pardon the cough. You young whippersnappers. Jay, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
That's ew. You must be fun at parties. So why are you voting for a felon? Is it like a kink?
No, I got 4 kids, a house, a job. Care about my country.
That's awesome. Let's get some thanks, Joe Biden is in the chat. So you're living comfortably. You just said you have 4 kids, you got a job, house over your head. That's phenomenal. Congrats.
No,
great. Let's get some W. Thank you, Joe Biden's in the chat. Thanks, Joe Biden.
No, my wife and I have good jobs, and we still struggle and live paycheck to paycheck because of the economy and the inflation.
Oh. What's the inflation rate today?
Or what is it, like 6.9 right now?
Nope. 6.9. Where'd you get that number from? Who told you that? Where'd you hear 6.9?
Right, tell me what is
no,
it?
I want to know. Where'd you hear 6.9? What was that?
No, go ahead. Tell me what's up.
I want to know. 6.9 came from where? You sounded so confident. I want to know where that came from.
Yeah, it's like 6.9. It's come down slightly over the last couple of months.
It's come down slightly. 6.9 came from what? When? Who? Where and why? 6.9 came from who?
6.9 what?
6.9 inflation rate came from who? Who told you that? It was such a specific number, too. Who told you the 6.9 digit?
No, that's a estimated number.
So nobody told you. Well, apparently it's the wrong estimation. So it's 2.4 today.
Oh,
that is
amazing.
that is the inflation rate. Yeah. What was the inflation rate in 2018? Spoiler, it was 2.4. So you just said inflation was high, but it's identical to what it was in 2018. Next point. If inflation is back down to 2.4%, I still don't know where you got 6.9 from. And yet we also recognize it was 2.4% in 2018. That means the Biden-Harris administration did their job to get us back down to pre-pandemic inflation rates. Why are costs at the grocery store still high, though? Hold on. Let's do a hypothetical. Chat. You tell me, chat, if the inflation rate's back to what it was, but costs at the grocery store are still high, why might that be? Hold on, Jay, before you answer, let's see if the chat knows. I'm sure that they do. Oh, they do! They do know! All right, Jay, your turn. So, Jay, now you answer.
Right.
Yay, you did it! Yeah. So instead of pointing your finger at Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, how about you point your finger at Donald Trump, who empowered greedflation and shrinkflation through items like his 14% corporate tax deduction. Okay?
May I talk for a second?
Let me think. If I let him talk, it's going to be ignorant. If I don't let him talk, that would be a public service. I'm feeling generous. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can say and do what you want. I'm just a normal American trying to live my life.
It's not normal to vote for a felon. It's not normal to vote for a sexual abuser. So it's not normal to strip away the rights of women. Right?
You honestly believe what our Democratic Party has done is okay in this country?
Protecting the right to choose, yeah, I think that's okay. Protecting the rights of LGBTQ plus Americans, I think that's okay. Capping insulin costs, yeah, I'm glad Democrats did that. So I'm not done here. Fighting for middle class Americans across the board, yes, I agree. You said board, yes. Fighting through that bipartisan border bill, yes, I think that's okay. You just asked if I think that what the Democratic Party is doing is okay, and yes, I do. I literally do. The bipartisan border bill, yes. The infrastructure package, yes. Protecting the right to choose, yes. The Respect for Marriage Act, yes. Inflation Reduction Act, yeah.
Why did they open the border the first day of office?
They didn't.
Oh, they didn't?
No, get me something that says that they did. Go.
But it was closed. Oh, yeah.
Go. Get me something that says they opened it. Go ahead. Go on. Get me something that says they opened it.
Even said it. She's
You
even
just
said it
get a
herself.
source.
And then they
You
tried
just
to
said
put it-
something. I want a source. Go.
Oh, God,
Shoot.
why did I
Shoot
even
fly.
give myself the
Shoot fly.
time
Don't
to
bother
come
me.
in
You
here
just
and
said
look at this
you
stuff?
just said that. Why did they open the border on day one? And I said, you know what? I want to know more about that. Go get me a source.
They did
You not
open
have
the
one?
border. Tell me they
Shoot
didn't.
fly.
Are you serious?
Shoot fly. Don't bother me. Shoot fly. Don't bother me. Shoot fly. Don't bother me. Go get me that source.
Oh, you're perfect, man. You're a great Democrat.
I'm well
You have a
aware.
great-
Go get me the source. Oh, you're gonna run
Yeah,
away
you
because
have
you
a-
don't have a source?
Oh, I'm
You wanna
not
run
running away. I
You
just
just
got
said
better
you're gonna.
things
You
to
just
do.
told me have a good day, so you're gonna run away. Should I get the cowbell out so that we could cheer you on
Get
your
the
way?
cowbell out.
You can't get
Tell
the
your mom I
source.
said hi and I want
So you have no
pancakes in the morning.
source. You have no source. Okay, great. So you admit you have no source, and so you're going to run away because you would rather run away and cry like you
No,
MAGA
it's-
Republicans do
it's not
instead of
running
getting
away.
a source.
MAGA Republicans
So tell
run
me
away.
again. Tell me you're a MAGA Republican. Sorry to break that news to you. So tell me again. Do you have a source
Enjoy the
from what you
election
just
on
claimed?
November 5th. It's going to be.
Well, your party
hilarious.
thinks it's November 6th, right? That last guy just said he can't wait to
Yeah.
vote on November 6th. Tell me again, do you have a source or are you going to run away? You going to run away?
It's just hilarious.
Okay, so you don't have a source. Congratulations. What else is new? Do you think we know that you have a source? The nervous laughter is beyond belief. Oh, he ran away. The nervous laugh as he runs away. No, let's get some cow emojis in the chat, please. No. Good riddance. Let's get up our next guest. He was like, you know what? The border was open on day one. I said, okay, I want to know more about that. Get me a source. And he's like, I can't do that. Should be easy. Get me a source, right? Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I'm undecided.
Well, you know what? We're like 13 days out from the election. Go to KamalaHarris.com or Trump's website and like compare policies. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Glenda, thank you so much for the $5. And Angela, thank you so much for the $25. That is so nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angela. And thank you, Heather, as well. Y'all are too nice. Knock it off. Y'all are too nice. Folks, if you want to support me, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in my bio. I'm using those funds to support both my college and also my travels as I meet voters across the swing state of Pennsylvania. So if you want to support that mission as I continue meeting voters in person, feel free to support me. Let's get up our next guest. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No.
You know what? W's in the chat for Cam. Thank you, Cam. Let's get up our next guest. I'm surprised nobody's run up, said the F slur, and ran away giggling yet. I'm waiting for one of them to come up and say the F slur, like as though it's so shocking. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
That's gross.
Okay.
Oh, you already stuttered and then left. Are you back?
I'm back.
Great. So why are you gross?
Why?
Oh, you can't answer? Okay, so why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Well, to be honest with you, I voted for Joe Biden.
No, you didn't. If I had a nickel for every time you MAGA Republicans started off the conversation by saying, I'm a lifelong Democrat who voted for Joe Biden and I just can't do it this time, I would be a fucking billionaire. Okay, so why are you voting for Donald Trump? I don't need a life story or your coming of age. Why are you voting for a criminal? Go ahead.
Well, looking at my own situation as a person, I was in the hospitality industry for a long time. And I live in the great state of Florida. And I love it. I really enjoy Ron DeSantis' policies. And when I did a deeper dive into Planned Parenthood and the origins of Margaret Sanger, I'm sure as you're Jewish, right?
Can you hurry up with your response
You're
here? This is like
Jewish,
you're
right?
setting the tone for a fucking Disney movie.
No. You're Jewish, right?
Excuse me, I'm a blatant Christian. I've been Christian my entire life.
Okay, well, congratulations. I'm Jewish.
Okay.
And when I looked into the whole founding of Planned Parenthood, and Margaret Sanger has made it very clear that she wants to eliminate the quote-unquote Negro population. So,
oh my gosh, what is going on right now?
That with me?
I'm so confused what's going on. Take a step back. Quiet time. Hold on. I want to unpack a lot here with you. First, starting off with whoever your therapist is, because you should fire them. Get a new one. Secondly, I'm trying to understand here why you're voting for Donald Trump, and you're going off into a tangent about some nonsense that was never said that I have no idea about. Hold on. Yeah, quiet time. Hold on. Quiet time. Again, you want to talk about racism. Let's talk about Donald Trump's racism. But you don't want to talk about Donald Trump. Are you a bot? Like, are you a bot? Stop unmuting yourself and talking about nonsense. If you're a bot, just say it. No reason to be shy. Okay, so then shut up when I shut you up. It's pretty simple. Only a bot doesn't recognize that when they're put on mute, they should stay on mute. Notice how you did it again. When you put on mute, you stay on mute until I unmute you. It's that simple.
I don't care.
You did it again. Are you a bot?
care.
You a bot? So again, let's talk about Donald Trump's racism. Donald Trump, who took out full-page advertisements in the New York Times to unalive the Central Park Five, who were exonerated and proven innocent simply because they were black Americans. Donald Trump, who went to the only black president our country has ever had and said, I want your birth certificate to prove you're an American, because I don't think so. Why didn't he ask Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton or George Bush or George H.W. Bush for their birth certificates? Just the black president. Okay. Donald Trump, who's going up to the black woman he's running against and saying, you're not black because I, a white man, said so. Let's talk about that racism. Oh, but you don't want to talk about that. Okay, unmute. Let's talk about that racism. Come on. Let's do it. Oh, you don't want to talk about that racism. Now you stay on mute. That's convenient. Now you stay on mute? That's real convenient. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. On the count of three, everybody say hocus pocus. 1, 2, 3. Hocus pocus. Poof. And he's gone. Let's get up our next guest. He's like, I want to talk about racism. Not a good case to make when your candidate's Donald Trump. Maybe racism isn't the way to go. Maybe talking about racism's not on your to-do list. Maybe pick something else. He says, I want to talk about racism as your candidate's Donald Trump and the other candidate's a black woman. Okay. Okay. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Oh, hell no. That was a mistake.
Thank you for coming up. That's awesome. Let's get up for our next guest. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
That's disgusting. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Why are you voting for, I don't know, Trump is the man.
Okay, so you didn't even know who the other candidate in the race was? Her name is Kamala Harris.
Harris, whatever the hell her name is.
It's not really whatever her name is. If you don't know what her name is, then that kind of suggests you probably aren't even eligible to be voting. Like, you don't know what the candidate's name is in the race, but you want to vote? Okay. We're getting real generous with who's allowed to vote, aren't we now? So why are you voting for a criminal?
He's a New Yorker.
Not really. Actually, he ran away from New York because he was
He didn't run away
kicked
from
out.
New York. New York guy, he got kicked out of New York.
Correct, because he's a felon who defrauded the entire state. $488 million. Would you keep that there? Would you keep that there? Okay, because I could tell you now, if I defrauded my mother out of $100 million or $488 million, I'd be kicked out of my house too. Right?
All right, let me ask you a question.
Growing up, let's say this. Growing up, you take money out of your mom's wallet, she'd kick you out of the house, right? That's when I was taught real young, yeah. So Donald Trump took money out of the wallet of New York. That's his mom's house. He got kicked out. It's pretty normal. It's kind of what happens. It's called accountability. It sucks, don't it? So tell me again, why are you voting for a felon, civil fraudster, sexual abuser? Go ahead.
Maybe he could do something with these borders that no one else is able to do.
Yeah, Donald Trump blocked the border bill that would have secured the border in its entirety. Do you even know what Donald Trump's border policy is?
Well, it's much better than what they're doing now.
Do you want to build the wall? Donald Trump wants to build the wall. You want to do that?
No.
You don't want to build the wall.
No, just take the military and put the military on the damn line, just like they do over in North and South Korea. They try to come across, shoot their asses.
North Korea, there is a wall. They have a border. So again, do you want a border wall?
Yeah, they keep out the illegals.
Okay, so now you want the border wall. Okay. You're a confusing one. So you want 2,000 border agents to monitor the wall.
No, just put the military up on there.
So again, the military would be the border agents. Do you want 2,000 border agents to monitor the wall?
Yeah, that's
all
fine.
right. Making progress now. Do you want to limit? Do you want to limit immigration?
Yes.
Okay, we're almost done. Stick with me, Dory. Dory, we're almost done. Don't get too lost finding Nemo. Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers?
Not legal ones.
Illegal. ILL. ILL. They're illegal.
I'm sorry about that.
They're illegal. Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my gosh. And we're almost done. Last point. Donald Trump says Donald Trump says this is states' rights. He wants to give millions of dollars to border states so that they could secure the border how they see fit. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, that would be a good thing.
Okay, great. So you support the wall.
Already.
Okay, so you support the wall, you support the border agents, you support the limit on immigration, you support blocking illegal asylum seekers, and you support the border money. Can we now talk about Kamala's policy?
Sure.
That was it. You just endorsed Kamala's border policy. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. You're on mute. Get it all out of your system before you unmute. Go ahead. Scream, yell, cry, do whatever you got to do. Go ahead, get it out of your system. That was not Donald Trump's policy. I lied to you. That was Kamala Harris's policy, and you just endorsed it point by point. So when you unmute, the first thing I want you to do, I don't want you to throw the F slur. I don't want you to say the N word. I don't want you to cry or scream, yell. Calm down. When you come back, do the thing where you're like, I'm not mad, I'm calm. Go on. Say like, I'm not mad, I'm calm. Go ahead. And then what we're going to do here is I want you to admit you just endorsed Kamala Harris on the border. Go ahead. Unmute whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. There you go.
I guess you were correct.
So go ahead. So you endorse Kamala on the border?
Yes.
I'll credit you. Let's get some W guests in the chat. You are the first MAGA Republican to own up to it. Good for you, man. Good for you. I mean that sincerely. You're the first one to actually own up to it. You actually got a spine.
Yeah. If she can do it, she can do. I got nothing against people coming over legally and doing everything correctly. But when I am a retired military and now a trucker, and there are buses. If you go down to the border states, there are buses being followed by federal agents going to New York, going to Chicago, all failed illegal immigrants that we got to pay for.
Okay, let me take a step back on this. Any conversation about the border is redundant. We shouldn't be talking about the border, period, because Kamala Harris already put forth a bipartisan border deal with Mike Johnson, and the only reason it didn't pass, even though it was about to pass, was because Donald Trump called congressional Republicans to block the bill. We know this because Mitch McConnell, Senator Tillis, they came forward and explained that. Furthermore, if you're having an issue with, for example, Texas's border, look no further than Greg Abbott, who is playing politics over country, putting politics over country. Okay? We've made the border such a political issue, and by we, I mean Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans, that they'd rather not solve it and play politics with the lives of people. Listen, there was a border deal put forth by Kamala, Joe, and Mike Johnson. Donald Trump blocked it. Elect Kamala and it'll pass. It's that simple. You want to stop complaining about the border? Because I do. Let's pass the bill.
All right, I'm going to have to do my research on that, and you might have just swung my vote a little.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming up. If you have any questions, and I mean this sincerely, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. It'll be very respectful. We could also chat on the phone one-on-one, whatever you need, man. Let's have a conversation about it. I appreciate you taking the time. And thank you again for being the only MAGA Republican to actually have a spine. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it, man.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right, let's get up our next guest, folks. If you are voting for Donald Trump, jump on into the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you want to support me and maybe you like what you're hearing today, feel free to support me. My Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in my bio. I would be grateful for your support and your love. And I love you right back. Love you right back, everybody. If you haven't already, too, hit that follow button in the top left corner and join our little family. Do you have a cat? Is that your cat?
It was.
Oh, it was. Oh, Springfield, Ohio, yeah.
Okay, so
are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, but hold on. Before you talk over me.
I'm going to talk over you right from the get-go. So before you set a term with me as to how you're going to control my live stream, let's get this real straight. When you come into my live stream, you wipe your feet off at the virtual doormat, and then I approach you with the first question. If you don't like that, get out. There's a long list of guests, and I'm really not that passionate about supporting you. So let's jump back into this. Why are you voting for a convicted felon, civil fraudster, and sexual abuser, whatever you want to call him? He goes by many names. Felon, criminal, rapist, whatever you want. Cynthia, thank you so much for the $10, by the way.
Okay,
Love you,
so we're going
Cynthia.
to use an appeal to ridicule now because.
Can you hurry up and answer?
No, I want you to answer. So, what logical fallacy we're using?
Logical fallacy. Can you hurry up and answer the question? This isn't that hard. If you can't answer, that's fine. But then leave the live so I can get up the next guest. If you can't answer the question, that's fine. But then leave the live so I could get up the next guest. Kiki, thank you so much for the $6. I appreciate it, Kiki. Can you answer the question? Why are you voting for the felon?
Are you going to let me speak finally?
If you answer that question, I'll let you speak. If you continue to pivot from that question, I will not let you speak.
I am not voting for my best friend. I am not voting for somebody who is going to be sitting with me. I am voting for somebody who I believe is going to support the positions that effectively lead this country.
Oh, you should have just said you were voting for Kamala. I thought you were voting for Trump. So you're voting for Kamala.
Hell no.
But you just said you were voting for the candidate with like the reasonable policies and the one who would affect, like that's Kamala. Donald Trump doesn't have policies. He has concepts of plans. Right?
It is your definition of concepts.
No, it's his definition. He said it on the debate stage.
Okay.
He said concepts of plans. Did you miss the
now,
debate? Did you just ask me for a source of him saying, hold on. Did you just ask me, hold on, pardon me. Did you just ask me to get a source of him saying concepts of plans? Really?
Yep. I want the full
quote in context. You don't know that he said hold on, pardon me. You don't know.
Quote in context.
Thank you. I'll tattoo it on my butt and show you that way. I really don't care. Point being is, you shouldn't need a source for this. Did you not watch the debate?
So you don't have the full quote in context is what you're saying.
Pardon me. Did you not watch?
You want to talk over me? Then I can talk over you.
Okay, quiet time. You actually can't talk over me because I have the mute button. You don't. So again, you just suggested that Donald Trump didn't say he has a concept of a plan. Christina, thank you so much for the $10. Love you so much, Christina. Thank you for your support. You just said that Donald Trump didn't say concepts of plans. He literally did. But again, I'm asking you, why are you voting for the felon? If you didn't watch the debate, that's fine, but then that just shows you're a low information voter. Because everybody in this, I could assure you, every single person in this live stream watched the debate, which means they are all more qualified to vote than you. Okay, you might be the only person in America who wasn't watching that debate, right? I'm talking about MAGA Republicans and Democrats alike in this live stream. They all watched the debate. If you didn't, then you are the most unqualified person to be speaking to me right now. But again, I'm asking you, why are you voting for the felon? If you could explain that, that'd be great. Can you hurry up and unmute? It's not that hard. It's the button that looks like a microphone. There you go. You got it, big boy. So go ahead and answer that question.
First, I'll point out you're using an appeal to ridicule and...
all right, I'm done with the crying. This guest has two phrases he learned from a sociology course or something in middle school, and he's not even using the phrases right. And he's not engaging in a simple question. I haven't even asked him for a percentage or a statistic yet. All I'm asking him is why he's voting for Donald Trump, and he can't even answer that. So we're going to move on to the next guest. Like, I didn't even ask him for something tough yet. Do we all understand that? I'm asking him for something so simple. Why are you voting for Donald Trump? He could have said anything. If he can't do that, then obviously I'm not going to be able to ask him about policy or numbers. Like, let's be so real. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I would like to talk with someone who's voting for Donald Trump.
I appreciate you coming up. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Oh my gosh. We understand that he was like, Donald Trump never said concepts of a plan. Buddy, you didn't watch the debate and you came up here to talk about Donald Trump. That's wild.
The debate was a setup.
The debate was a setup. All right, Tomater, let's jump into this. So why are you voting for the felon?
It was a setup.
Calm down. Okay. Are you driving right now?
Nope.
Okay, why are you voting for a felon? Alyssa, thank you so much for the $10, Alyssa. I appreciate the love. Love you right back. Thank you. All right, Tommy, hurry up. I ain't got all night.
I don't consider him a felon.
Okay, you might not consider him a felon. Maybe you support crime. Yeah, hold on. You might not consider him a felon. That's fine. I don't care. Because your opinion is redundant, right? We have a criminal justice system and people far more qualified than somebody who sounds like Tomater making the decision as to whether he's not a felon. And they said he's a felon, so he's a felon. You understand? Great. Guys, he's not driving.
I'd be in jail, right?
He's awaiting sentencing. You understand that? He's out on bail and awaiting sentencing. And I can understand that you appeal to felons because you're right now driving and talking to me. It's not that hard to not text and drive.
I am sitting still.
Yeah, where are you at?
I am in Bumpbuck, Oregon.
Sounds about right. You got way too much background noise. Fix that. I don't got to be listening to the tractor trailers pulling cows in the background.
Is that better?
No.
All right, well, have a good day.
All right, peace. Bye. Okay, you don't know how to leave the live. I'll help you out. You're welcome. Let's get up our next guest. That guy sounds straight up like Tomater. Valerie, you're talking through a fax machine or something. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. If you're supporting Kamala Harris, hit that like button. Help us get to 500,000 likes. You're using your business account to talk politics. You're out of your mind. Let me do you a favor before you get canceled next. That's wild. Somebody who comes up here on their business's account to talk politics. You're out of your mind. Let me teach you something. If you want to be a successful small business owner, don't do that. Just a thought. Consider it my free advice. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Are you voting for Donald Trump? Oh, and they run away. They're like, I'm going to go on my business's account and I'm going to talk why I'm supporting Trump. Yeah, maybe don't. Come back on a personal account. That was common sense. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Hey, boy.
Oh my gosh. Fetus deletus. Poof. And they're gone. Fetus deletus is a really good spell. I'll tell you what. It's not, it's banned in a couple states, but it's a good spell. Gets rid of all of the... Hi, guest. You voting for Donald Trump?
I sure am. Because he's the reincarnation of Jesus Christ himself.
You know what's tough is that at this point in time, I know that typically with a Republican, I would be like, oh, they're trolling. But the fact that we can't actually decide if you're trolling or not speaks volumes as to how out of touch and insane the current MAGA Republican Party has become. You know what I mean?
I know, brother, I am
insane.
trolling. I'm not voting for Trump. Fuck Trump.
Like, isn't it crazy though?
I was
how it's
literally
like,
doing this as
exactly. That's what I think is so crazy. It's like you had all of us kind of sitting here like, is it real or not? Because we can't tell if it's... Because it might, like...
I know, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's
dude, because I was on your live the other day and someone was like comparing Trump to Jesus or something. So that's where the idea came from.
They were fucking serious, too. They messaged me after.
I know.
And they were like, I'm like, are you... Anyhow, thank you for coming up, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Sorry, man. It was just a little experiment.
You're
Appreciate
good.
your time. Thank you, brother.
You're good. I'm always down for the experience, man. That was funny, and it was good. I will say, you really had me thinking. It was a good experiment. Oh, and thank you so much for the $5, man. I appreciate the love. Hi, guest. Oh, and Deb, thank you so much for the $25, Deb. Thank you. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Nah, I'm voting for Harris.
W's in the chat, please. Thank you for coming up. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please do hit that like button. Help us get to 500,000 likes. If you want to support me and maybe you like what you're hearing today, feel free to do so. I have my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App in the chat. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump? Pardon my cough.
I am. First, let me say it's very intimidating to be talking to you.
Yeah, get over it. So anyway, so you're voting for Donald Trump because?
I like his policies more.
That doesn't make any sense. He only has concepts of a plan. He doesn't really got policies, right? So let's talk about some of those policies.
Yeah, what's his border
policy?
A plan that's not, implemented
okay.
through the House.
All right, thank you. Blah, 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 blah. What's his border policy?
I like that he's going to fix the problem with from within versus trying to secure the wall now, which is why I understand why the border policy that got shut down is a bad bill. Because the problem's already going on. We don't, the border.
Hold on, I'm gonna let you redo that. If you want to start over from the get-go, I'll do you a favor and pretend I have no idea what you just said. We'll start over. Try again. Take 5 seconds if you need to, and try to this time say something coherent. You're welcome.
I was referencing him as far as mass
Yeah,
deportation.
actually, what it sounded like you were doing was making a recipe for cookies. Nobody understand like what you just said made no sense. So start over. Try again.
I do love cookies, but at the same time, I was talking about mass deportation.
Yeah, and the issue is nobody understood what you were talking about. So you want to start over and try
yes.
again?
I think the problem,
Okay.
since the problem's already here, they're more focused about securing the border now versus fixing the problem that's already here, which is what Trump is going to do, which is why that bill got shut down. Because
That's not why the bill got shut down. So why are you playing? We all know why the bill got shut down. Donald Trump told us.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I got shut down.
That's not why it got shut down. So you want to try again?
I said that, I'm agreeing.
Do you want me to
shut it down
explain
because
it?
it was a bad bill.
Right, he shut it down, but he didn't shut it down because it was a bad bill. So do you want me to explain why it was shut down, or do you want to tell the truth? It's up to you.
I was gonna explain. I was just waiting.
Okay,
to see.
so I'll explain. So the
I
bill
just
was
said I
shut
wanna
down for
explain.
politics.
That's not fair.
Yeah, but you don't know why. So I'll do
I
you a
do
favor
know why.
here.
Okay, you tell
I'm
me
gonna
why,
do you
and
a
I'll tell you-
public
I'll tell
service
you
here.
why.
Quiet time.
Okay.
Okay, so the bill was shut down for politics. We know this because Senator Mitch McConnell, Senator Tillis, even Mike Johnson came forward and said Donald Trump was making calls to congressional Republicans solely based on the bill, not in part because of what the bill consisted of. For example, we knew that that bill was going to construct the wall in its entirety, something that Donald Trump has been championing since 2016 but has neglected to pass, right? Now, this would have accomplished exactly what he wanted, so why wouldn't he pass it? Because it would have accomplished exactly what he wanted, and then he couldn't campaign on it. How can you campaign on a problem if it's solved? That's why. And the senators have made that very clear. So for you to say, well, he shut it down because it was a bad bill, that's BS. It was a good bill, period. And let's start with this. Do you want to build the wall? Yes or no?
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was gonna say my.
Yes or no? Do you want to build the wall?
I want to continue building the wall. Yeah.
Okay, you want to continue building the wall. Yes, I agree. The 400 miles that Barack Obama built was a big win. So let's continue Barack Obama's work. Do you want to put a cap on immigration?
Not the way Kamala states it, because that's not going to work the way she wants to do it now.
Makes no sense. Do you want to cap immigration? Yes or no? This isn't a life story.
Not
or coming of
Kamala's
age.
number. A cap on immigration is for both.
Okay,
parties.
yeah. So you're saying, so if Kamala says,
whoa.
So
Hey,
let's get
but
this right.
just-
I'm not done.
Whoa, no,
quiet
you're
time.
referencing-
Quiet time. So you come up here and you say, I want to put a cap on immigration, but not Kamala's way. Really? Hold on. Take a step back. Quiet time. So you just said, I want to put a cap on immigration, but not if Kamala says it. That's effectively what you're doing here. So if Donald Trump says he wants to do something,
Can I
you're like,
respond?
fuck yeah. No, you may not. So if Donald Trump says he wants to do something, great. If Kamala Harris says it, you're like, well, then I don't want to do it that way. Let's set the record straight on what you're doing here. So now let me ask you, do you want to
Can I
block
speak,
illegal?
please?
You may speak when spoken to. Do you want to block illegal asylum seekers, yes or no?
You're steamrolling so much. I can't even.
This
you
is a
wanna
steamroll,
debate,
and this
but
is
you
me
keep
trying to
moving
get
from
an
topic to
answer.
topic.
This is me trying to get an answer. But you're refusing.
What
which
was your
speaks
question?
volumes
Okay,
to-
I'll answer your
so the
question
fact
and
you
not
didn't
be
know
able
the
to debate it.
question,
What is it?
the fact you didn't know the question is beyond telling.
What was the question? Because
It
I'm
was a
still
simple
trying
question.
to.
Go
I'm
ahead
trying
and
to
answer.
respond to your last three.
Go ahead and
points.
answer. Go ahead and answer. I'm not going to repeat it a third time. That ain't going to happen. Answer. Go ahead.
I don't like what you're preaching to me is Kamala's policy.
What I just
and
spoke
don't like
about
her
was a
policy.
specific policy point. What was it?
All right, her policy points cap on immigration, whether it's 5,000 a week, which that doesn't depend 5,000 daily. You can have 20,000 in one day and cut.
That's not what I was talking about. What is the policy point I just said? I don't need you to do that. I need a direct response to the policy point I just said. No, you don't. Tell me the policy point I just stated. Tell me the policy point I just stated.
I didn't hear. I asked you to repeat the question.
I said it three times, and you want me to continue repeating it because you're too ignorant to listen the first three times. Like, am I supposed to entertain you?
Policy, and why I don't like it.
Is this a processing issue?
No, I know her policy.
No, I'm saying, is this a processing issue in your head? Is this your head being incapable of processing the words coming out of my mouth where I have to repeat three times? Not processing at the border, processing in your head. And the fact you misunderstood, excuse me, the fact that you, it's quiet time for you. The fact you even misunderstood that speaks volumes to how bad of a processing issue this is.
Misunderstand you. I did not hear the question.
You misunderstood me saying you had a processing issue about you not being able to process the question I said three times. Let's get up the next guest. I'm done playing with this one. I don't ask things three times and not have an answer by the third time. Are you out of your mind? If I ask you something once, you answer. If I ask you twice, that's me being polite. When I ask you something three times, we're fucking done. Jack Hire, you voted for Donald Trump?
I'm 15, brother, but I apparently
All right, hocus pocus and fetus deletus. Poof, goodbye. Yeah, if I wanted to talk to a fetus, ain't gonna be you. At least I would get up an intelligent one, right? Like Boss Baby. Y'all seen Boss Baby? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Boss Baby, the show, movie, I guess. Jalen, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump? Jalen, 3, 2, 1. Okay, goodbye. Next up, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. Don't be shy. I'm surprised we haven't had any MAGA Republicans run up and say the F slur yet. I'm shocked. It's only a matter of time. Austin, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump? Okay, guess not. Goodbye, Austin. Next up, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Hi, guest, are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I'm not voting for Donald Trump. And no, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris.
Okay, you can't even say the name right, so I'm pretty sure you're not, voting because you probably can't vote. Listen, if we have one more European come up here to talk about American politics, I'm personally going to go on Amazon.com, buy a barrel of tea, travel to Boston, and throw it in the harbor and do my own personal Boston Tea Party. Y'all understand? Done playing with the Europeans coming up. Karen, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Nope. Voting for Harris.
W. Karen's in the chat, please. Thank you, Karen. That's awesome. Let's get up our next guest. Y'all down? Y'all want to do a Boston Tea Party? If we get another European up here telling us how we should do our politics, let's grab our American flags. We're going to Boston. Get your tea. Lacey, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Are you voting for Visine?
Okay, ma'am, stop drinking. Let's get up our next guest. That was really weird. Ma'am, speak coherently. So it's okay to put the cup down. It's past 5 o'clock. It's okay to have that 5 o'clock class, but at some point you got to put it down. It ain't even Friday yet. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
22.
Oh, wow. Is this your first time voting?
No.
For the presidency, I mean.
Is it your first time using a fallacy?
This is that same loser from before. Let's get up our next guest. Listen, if you want to come back and talk to me, you don't need to create a whole new account and then jump on in. Listen, I get you learned the word fallacy. Congratulations. And you're not even using it right. Like, go back to your 5th grade sociology course and try to define that in better terms. I understand you were in your middle class debate club. Your middle school debate club. You're not using the word right. Guest, hi, Joyce. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Absolutely not. I'm voting for Kamala Harris, and I'm pissed off with Donald Trump
Thank you,
running
Joyce.
around claiming that he had this economy when it was Obama.
I hear you, Joyce. Thank you for coming up, Joyce. Thank you, Joyce.
Kamala and Biden has worked 3.5 years to clean up his mess.
Agreed. And that's why we're going to have our Madam President in a couple weeks. I appreciate you coming up, Joyce. Let's get up our next MAGA Trumper. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. I'm shocked no MAGA Republican has ran around saying the F slur yet. I think it's because they realize it doesn't shock us. Like that them being homophobic and racist and stuff is just kind of how they are now, Hi, guest. Are you voting for the criminal?
Yes, I'm voting for Trump.
That's disgusting.
And here's the reason why.
I ain't asked yet.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
How old are you?
24.
Is this your first presidential race that you're voting in?
Nope.
Wow. Congrats. So, why are you voting for a criminal, a sexual abuser, and a civil fraudster?
So, I just wanted to just say something. So, you said
I want an answer to the question. I don't need your life story.
Because he passed the Farm Bill back in December 20th of 2018.
He passed the Farm Bill back in. I just asked you, why are you voting for him? If you could first break down some overarching substantial quality here, this would be great. Is it immigration? Is it abortion? Is it the economy? Let's start there.
All right. Well, for one, it's going to be economy and the border.
Okay, great. Let's talk about that border bill.
All right. So here's the thing. The border bill. He's going to be sealing the border and stop the migrant invasions. How many illegal immigrants have actually came into this country? I actually want an answer.
32 billion.
Yes. And
you're an idiot. I just threw a number out of here. I say 32 billion.
Are drug lords?
Quiet time. So I just said 32 billion, and he goes, yes. Okay, so you know nothing.
Oh, okay.
You
I
know
don't-
nothing. 32 billion? Really? You think 32 billion immigrants came into our
32
country?
million.
I said 32
I said
billion, and you
million.
said yes, and then you repeated 32 billion. Are you out of your mind?
No, I'm not, and thank you.
32 billion, really. So I said 32, I could have said 32 gajillion trillion. So let me get this right. Hold on. Yeah. Quiet time. So I just said 32 billion, and you said yes. So I really could have picked any number out of my butt like I just did, and you would have said yeah to it. You
No.
don't know, do you? You don't know how many immigrants came over, do you?
32 million. I have
No. I made that up.
a source.
I made that up. I just pooped that number. You understand? I
Cool.
quite literally went and then picked it up and showed you, and you said
Okay,
yes.
cool. Hey,
Great.
hey,
So now let's get back on track here. This conversation about the border will be redundant if Kamala's border bill passed. Do you understand that? And who stopped that bill?
Her border
Who
bill
stopped that
is
bill?
actually
Who
quoting
stopped that
from
bill?
Donald Trump.
Who stopped that bill?
Donald Trump did not stop the bill.
Who stopped the bill? Go ahead, try again.
Donald Trump did not stop
Maybe
the bill.
third time is the charm. Let's try again. Who stopped the bill?
Third time's the charm. Trump
Apparently
did
it's not.
kill
So
the
Donald
Sen-
Trump
Senate
stopped the
border
bill. We know
security
that
deal.
because, we know that because Senator Mitch McConnell, Senator Tillis, those who introduced the bill. Also, Speaker Mike Johnson made very clear that Donald Trump was making calls to congressional Republicans. They sounded the alarm on him when he did this. You're saying he didn't stop the bill. No, he did. He
I
also
have a
takes
source.
credit for that. Thank you.
I
I
have a
have a
source.
source. I have a source. It's
By Elizabeth Jacob on February 27th
Who?
of 2024.
What's
Elizabeth
the source? Is it
Jacob.
ABC?
No.
NBC.
Center of Immigration
Reuters?
Studies.
Excuse me, take a step back. Is it Reuters? Is it Fox? Who is the source here?
Center for Immigration
Great.
Studies.
I need a media source on this one.
That's a media source, sir.
No, it's not. So give me a
Yes, it
media
is.
source.
By
No,
Elizabeth
you know what a
Jacobs on
media source
February
means.
27th
So thank you again.
Excuse me,
Quiet
I'm
time.
speaking.
Yeah, you're not speaking.
Yes, I am.
Quiet time. Give me a media source. Try again. Get me a media source. I ain't playing with you. You might think I'm the one, but let me assure you, I am not. So get me the media source. Now.
CIS.org. Look it up.
Yeah. So one more time. What's the source?
I just.
Name it. Go ahead.
CIS.org. It's not.
No, try
it's-
again. Get a media
That's
source. Gonna count down from 10. You get a media source, and we'll do this again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Go ahead. What's the source?
CBS.
CBS. Great. Message me right now. I want the source.
No, sorry,
Message
sir.
me. I want the source.
I don't give out information since you don't
You're
look
not
it
gonna
up
give
on
me the source?
CIS.org.
Hold
Look
on.
it up on
Excuse me.
CIS.
Quiet time. I just asked you to message me the source, and quiet time for you. You're in timeout. You come out of timeout when I tell
Yes,
you come
Daddy.
out of timeout. Yeah, you're welcome. So again, I just asked you to give me the source. You said CBS. So I said, okay, if that's true, message me the CBS URL. And you just said, no, you're not going to do that. That's because it's not a source from CBS. You understand? So unmute. If it's a CBS source, message me that article right now. I'm not playing.
And I'm giving you the website for it, sir. It's
Great.
called
Message me.
CIS.org.
You just said it was CBS.
CIS. I've
You
been
said
saying
CBS.
No.
Are you purposefully
It's
trying to
from
mislead?
CBS, but it
Great.
came from the
CIS ain't a
source
media
of
source. Get me a media
CIS.org.
source. We're gonna do this again. Get me a media source. Go play. Go on. Go on. Give
It's
me the
on
media source. CIS ain't what I'm looking for. You said CBS, and when I told you to message me the CBS URL, you then said, "Oh, I said CIS, not CBS." You said CBS. Get me the source. Go get the media source. Go.
I said.
Get me the
Oh my
media
God.
source.
You don't wanna
Listen,
listen
I don't
to
need
it.
your Charlie
President
Kirk
Joe-
source. Thank you. I don't need your Charlie Kirk source. Go get me a source from the media. Go ahead. Try again. We could do this all night. I got time. Get me
I
the
got
source.
time too, sir. And
Great.
also,
So get me the source. You said CBS, then you admitted you lied and it wasn't CBS. Now I'm telling you, get me the source. You're not going to mislead me. I ain't the one. Go get a
Center
source.
for Immigration Studies.
Okay. Nope. One more time. Get me the media source. Go ahead. Again, I don't need your Charlie Kirk source. Go get me a source.
I don't trust your bullshit ass.
Yeah, cry more. Get me a source. You can cry all the way to Google as you type in information to find me a source. Continue crying, but cry while you Google. You can multitask. You can cry while you Google. Get me the source. Go ahead. You getting the source?
Yes.
Okay,
And
hurry up.
After I looked
Hurry
it
up.
it said Center for Immigration.
We're going to do this again. Get me the media source. Go ahead. Cry all the way to Google and get me the media source. I'm done playing. This is your last warning. Get me the media source. Next time I unmute you, you will name the source. You understand? You really think I'm the one? I ain't. It ain't me. It ain't me. When I get stuck on something, I don't budge. Get me the source.
I'm not budging either. It
Great.
says
So let's get this right. So you're not going to get me the media source, and you won't budge on that, and I won't be budging until I get that media source out of you.
Says it right
so then
here.
it seems like we don't have much more to talk about here. Ain't that the truth? What's the media
we are
source?
Still talking.
You
I
said
just
CBS. Quiet time. You said CBS and you lied to me. I said, give me the CBS source, and you said, oh, it's not CBS, it's CIS. That's not going to work. So I need the media source. What do you got?
CIS.org source.
Okay, so you're still crying here.
How is that still crying? Anyway,
Get me a media source. Last time. I'll try one more time for you, baby. Go ahead.
Center for Immigration Studies.
We're done here. Next up. I don't need your Charlie Kirk source. What I need is a media source. I need some sort of source backing up what you're saying, and you don't have that. You don't have that. Okay, you're in a tunnel. Let's get up the next one. Chat, do we recognize that he literally... I don't think he understands what... Yeah, I think, chat, you're right. I don't think he understands what a media source is. He does not understand. He's like, I got this from Twitter, and this is Charlie Kirk's, website. No, you're not giving me Charlie Kirk's website and saying that's your source. That's not going to work. That's not... We're not doing that. It ain't happening. Period. We're not doing that. You don't give me Charlie Kirk's website as your source. Not happening.
Hey, so I had a question.
Oh, hold on. And that's a great accent. In honor of you, I'm going to go buy a barrel of tea and throw it in the Boston Harbor. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. Come on up. Come on up. Let's go, everybody. Come on. If you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest requests. Jim, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump? 3, 2, goodbye. Let's get up our next guest. Michael, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
That's disgusting. My hands are here. I didn't even mute you.
I know, I did it myself.
Probably for the best with that voice. So why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Because I like him and I think he'd be the best one for the job.
Choose kindness, choose kindness, choose kindness, choose kindness, choose kindness. Okay. Why? Oh, he ran away. Oh, gosh. I really thought I was about to have to be nice. Oh, thank gosh, he ran away. Okay, we're good. Let's get up our next guest. Jackson, hi. Are you voting for the criminal?
Yeah.
Ew. So what went wrong with your upbringing to lead you to vote for a felon? Oh, he ran away. I guess a lot went wrong. He wasn't ready to go down that rabbit hole. Let's get up the next. Folks, if you like what you're hearing today and you want to support me, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in the bio, or hit that follow button in the top left corner and join our little family. Would love to have you as part of our little blue wave we got going on. Is your name Manny or Mani? How do I pronounce your name?
Mani.
Mani. Hi, Mani. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Absolutely not. But I just wanted to get up here and say I love you.
Oh my gosh, I love you right back. Well, thank you for coming up.
You're welcome. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. You know what? I'll be honest. I don't know if it's like intuition, if that's the right word. But for some reason, there's no way to tell who is a Trumper or like a Democrat unless they have like Donald Trump in their profile photo. You know what I mean? But for some reason, like I didn't know that Mani was a Democrat. Yet for some reason when she joins, like I felt happier. And I just feel like it's some sort of intuition. Like, you know, when a normal person comes up, I don't know what it is. I don't get it. Like, does that ever happen with you guys where you're like, you have no idea what their affiliation is, and yet somehow you're like, I kind of sense that they're normal, and it's like, it just brightens your day. Jalen, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
No, you ain't. Fetus deletus. Poof. There it is. Let's get up our next guest. Right? You guys know what I mean. It's like they got like good energy. It's like, I don't know. Hi, Matt. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
That's disgusting.
Why?
Oh, sorry. I was talking about your voice. I wasn't talking about the... Anyway, so why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Is it not feminine enough for you?
Not really. Can you drop it? Maybe go one more octave up. That'd be great.
I'll go lower.
No, lower's not where you need to be. Like, maybe hike it up a little bit more. Okay, Lauren, thank you so much for the $15.
How's
Love
life,
you, Lauren.
how's
Thank
life
you.
right now for you?
Doing pretty good. I just stole this mug from my friend.
Nice.
I'm like a mug collector, you know. How about you?
I just think
your day going?
life was better 4 years ago.
I didn't have this mug 4 years ago, so apparently it wasn't really
Is life
that much
better for you
me.
now?
Yeah, because I got this mug. So why are you voting for Donald Trump?
A lot of reasons.
Can you hurry up and respond?
Yeah, border security is shit right now.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, Matt, shut up for a second. Michael, thank you so much for the $50. That's beyond kind. That is so nice. Thank you so much, Michael. Can we please get like 100 W Michaels in the chat, please? That was beyond kind. Thank you, Michael. You know, I use those funds as I travel and meet voters in person, which also is why this live came so late today, and I apologize for that, folks. I know I'm far later than I normally am. I was meeting voters and stuff, and I got really tied up in a few conversations I wanted to finish in person. But thank you, Michael. That was really kind. All right, Matt, jump back in. So, Matt, you just suggested that life was better 4 years ago. Do you recognize you were in a pandemic 4 years ago? Who was life better for?
What about 5 years ago?
Okay, 5 years ago, you were still in the pandemic. 6 years ago, we can talk about that.
5 years ago was 2019. I don't think we were
Pardon me. You were in the onset of the pandemic. Just because it wasn't labeled the pandemic yet doesn't mean that people weren't, getting sick. But anyway, so I want to preface this with, who was Donald Trump's presidency better for? Right? Let's ask the chat. Chat, were you doing better 4 years ago? I'm asking the chat, not you. Okay, great. So now let's also recognize, and feel free to take a look at the chat if you want to. Maybe it'll help you better educate. But top comment right now is no, Donald Trump's presidency was not better for me 4 years ago, that they're doing better today.
Were these working people?
Yes.
Oh, they are working people. Or are these
you not a working person?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a working person. Absolutely. Are you a working person outside of TikTok?
I am. I am George Soros's mistress. Now, again, what I need you to understand here is you're talking about how Donald Trump's presidency was better for Americans, but it wasn't better, for example, middle-class workers. It wasn't better for those in the working class or small business entrepreneurs, those who were struggling because of Donald Trump's tariffs. It wasn't better for farmers, those who struggled because of the 50 to 25% tariff on agriculture.
Well, I think small businesses definitely benefited.
Nope, because I was a small business owner. Don't tell me who did better as a small business entrepreneur under Donald Trump's economy. Thank you very much. So tell me again, when you, excuse me,
from 37 to 23 didn't help you?
We're playing this game. I can explain the deductions on taxes, and we could have a conversation here, but you can't mislead. So Donald Trump's corporate tax deduction of 14% fed corporations. Small businesses are not corporations. Maybe you don't know that. Maybe you've never ran one. But small businesses are not corporations. It was a corporate tax deduction of 14%. That went up to companies like Microsoft, who were already making record high profits. What did the middle class get? Well, again, I'll introduce you to that 15 to 25% tariff on agriculture. That increased costs on small businesses via a $230 billion tax hike due to an export surplus and supply on demand issue because of that tariff. And that was passed off to middle class consumers. Can you unmute so that we can conversate? You don't need to keep up muting yourself. It's the button. Oh, there you go. Good boy.
Maybe if you would just stop muting me,
I didn't. Okay, let's not gaslight. My hands were in frame the entire time you muted yourself. Let's not gaslight. Let's not gaslight. My hands were in frame the entire time.
Small business. Our company is about a $21 million.
Congrats. Let's take a step back. Did you say $21 million a year?
Yeah. Is that too large to be a small business? We employ about 60 people in rural Pennsylvania. Is that too small?
Just give me a second. And you said Pennsylvania?
Yeah, rural Pennsylvania. Is that too big?
All right, let's take a step back here.
Okay.
Now I am going to put you on mute because I want to make a point. Your governor in Pennsylvania is a Democrat. And if you're doing better statewide economically, congratulations. That's because of Governor Josh Shapiro. And also because of Governor Tom Wolf, you have had a Democratic governor for the past 10 years. And you should be saying thank you to those Democratic governors for ensuring you were in a strong local and state economy. Can we get some W. Shapiros in the chat?
No.
Hold on, quiet time, baby. So I wanna understand as well, if you're gonna come up here, and again, congrats that you have a $21 million business, but if you're gonna come up here and say, oh, well, I think that the middle class should pay more in taxes so that my taxes can be lower as a multi-million-dollar company, you're talking to the wrong people. Quiet time, baby. So again, you can come on here and suggest that us middle class workers should have to pay for your tax cuts, but it ain't gonna work. And if you are doing better, quiet time, baby. If you are doing better economically, here's your homework. Here's your homework, because you're confused. You're associating the stronger economy with Donald Trump, when in reality, it was your Democratic governor. His name was Tom Wolf. Your current Democratic governor is Josh Shapiro. You said as a rural Pennsylvanian, your company's making $21 million a year. First off, that is not a small business. That's not a small business. Stop saying you're a small business. 2, let's also recognize if you're going to come up here and say, well, I don't want tax cuts for the middle class, I want them to go to me, then you're talking to the wrong bunch, because this chat, we're middle class Americans and it's our turn for those tax cuts, okay? But again, if you're doing better, quiet time, baby. If you're doing better, that's because of your Democratic governor. So here's what I want you to do. Here's your homework. Go look up who your Democratic governor is. Apparently you don't know. His name's Josh Shapiro. And he has been very, very, very focused on workforce development and economic growth. He is the first governor to initiate an entire office dedicated to workforce development in the governor's office. So go take some time. Look into who your governor is, because your economy is that strong and you're doing that well because of him, not because of Joe Biden or Donald Trump, but because of your Democratic governor. Okay, this is like when somebody comes, pardon me. This is like when somebody comes up here and says, I live in Texas and I don't have access to WIC because of Joe Biden. No, you don't have access to WIC because of Greg Abbott. This is a state versus federal issue. So that's your homework. Do that and come back tomorrow, okay? Good boy. All right, that's your homework. Folks, you do have governors. Like, I don't know why people don't recognize they have governors. Your governor is the one feeding into your local and state economy. Not Joe Biden, not Donald Trump. That's your governor. The same way when somebody comes up here and says, I don't have access to WIC, and I'm like, what state are you from? And they're like, Texas. And I'm like, correct. That's not because of Joe Biden. That's because of Greg Abbott. Like, Donnie, hi. Are you voting for the criminal? Donnie. 3, 2. Okay, bye, Donnie. Let's get up our next guest. Bridget. Whoa, Bridget. Okay. I want to see like 1,000 W's in the chat for Bridget, please. That was so nice. Okay, Bridget, what the fudge? I don't have to put a quarter in the swear jar because I didn't say the word. Bridget just sent $100. That is so nice. That is beyond kind. You didn't. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. That is such a blessing. Thank you for blessing me with that. And thank you for supporting me. Love you right back, Bridget. That is so nice. That is so nice. Thank you so much. That is so nice. That is beyond nice. Wow. That is beyond kind. I don't even know what to say else. Thank you so much, Bridget. Thank you. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I wouldn't voted for Trump.
That's disgusting.
That's subjective.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the vote. I was talking about your voice. So why do you vote for a felon?
Wow, you're really persuading people to vote for Kamala.
I am, actually. I persuaded 7 people today. So can you tell me why you're voting for a felon?
It's very politically educational.
Can you hurry up?
Why I voted?
For a felon?
For a felon?
Oh my gosh. Okay, apparently here's another processing issue. Let's get up our next guest. Like, he's like repeating every single word I say. Why are you voting for a felon? He's like, why? I go, why are you voting for a felon? He goes, why am I? Why are you voting for a felon? A felon? Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Hell no. I just wanted to come in and say I love you. Been in here a hot minute.
I love you right back, man. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. You have a good one.
You too.
All right, let's get up our next guest. Lynn, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I am.
That's gross.
That's disgusting.
It really is. But at least you know.
I knew you were going to say it.
It's kind of my thing. So why are you voting for the felon?
Okay, to be honest, I know a lot of criminals that are still good people. So...
Okay, I mean, I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty easy not to commit a crime. And if you do commit a crime, I do believe in second chances for some, not many, for some. And yeah, I still wouldn't make them my president. If you're a felon or if you were found liable of sexual abuse or found liable of civil fraud, you're not going to be my president, period, right? I mean, consider this. Do you have kids?
I don't.
Okay. Do you have a puppy?
Sure.
Okay. Let's say you have kids or like family or whatever. You have a brother, sister, whatever the case be. Would you let somebody who is found liable of sexual abuse babysit them?
Oh, hell no.
Okay, me either. So then why would you make him your president?
I'm not trying to talk about sexual abuse. I'm trying to talk about the economy, actually. That's why I'm voting for him.
So then why would you make them your president if you wouldn't let them babysit your brother, sister, or child, or puppy, whatever the case be? You wouldn't let them babysit them, but you would make them your president?
The president's not a babysitter.
The president is literally your babysitter. You understand that? The president picks what...
He controls the economy. The president, or
correct,
she, controls the economy of the United States.
Correct. Let's break this down in simple terms. Let's break this down in simple terms. You don't got to get agitated with me now. So let's recognize your babysitter is going to tell you what you're eating for dinner. Yeah? The president is going to tell you how much food you get to put on the dinner table. Okay? We look at, again, your babysitter tells you, if you're going to get an allowance, your ma, your pa, the babysitter, they're going to tell you how much money you get in your pocket. So is the president. It really is this simple. Like, again, you're going to let somebody who's found liable of sexual abuse become your president, but you won't let them babysit your kids. Okay, that's weird.
Our current president is not putting food on the table, to be honest. So that's why.
Literally, actually, they literally are, right? I mean, look at how much food they just put on the table for those. Look at how much food they just put on the table of those who were impacted by the hurricane. And you just mentioned the inflation rate being high. Ma'am, what is the inflation rate today?
I don't know the exact number.
So then why'd you just say it was high? You don't know what the number is and you just said it was high?
The economy sucks, dude. I can't afford food. I can't afford my
that's
bill.
on you. That's on you, right? I don't know what to tell you. Because the inflation rate, ma'am, because the inflation rate is 2.4% today, and that's the same exact thing it was in 2018. So you're saying inflation's super high? It's not. Do you know what is high, though? The cost on groceries. And let's think about this. If the inflation rate is identical to what it was in 2018, that means that we are doing well economically and that Biden Harris did their job. Who didn't do their job, though, if grocery costs are still high? Spoiler alert, the companies at the grocery store like Kroger who are price gouging, Kroger is currently getting held legally liable and being investigated for price gouging. And this isn't new.
Because they're farmers. Their farmers are struggling. That's why. The farmers that supply the food, who grows the food?
No, wait, to be clear, the price gouging is increasing prices well above what the produce cost is. They are making corporate profit. It has nothing to do with the cost on the product. Understood? So that's why inflation is 2.4%. That is the produce part. Produce, 2.4. Higher costs on the groceries, that's outside of the inflation rate. That is greedflation and shrinkflation. That is corporate greed. That's something else. You're conflating the two.
Well, I just don't know Kamala's plan to try and solve all these problems.
Yeah,
because
you really do. No, you really do know her plan. Yeah.
Like, I don't, because every time someone asks what her plan was.
But then that's on you, right? Because we recognize that Kamala Harris. Excuse me, do you know how easy it is to go to?
Because I've heard it so many times. She said, because I believe in the working class people, because I was a middle class worker, and we're going to work so hard and get ourselves. Oh my God, you're really hurting my feelings. Because we're going to work so hard and get ourselves out of the inflation.
Recognize
she doesn't have a plan, and Trump actually explained his detailed plan.
Ma'am, Kamala Harris has a plan, and if you didn't listen to her numerous interviews, like 60 Minutes, the interview that Donald Trump refused to conduct, being the first president to
interview with
ignore
Brett?
60 Minutes.
He sounded so
Excuse me.
unqualified.
Oh, actually, I could pull up a clip, and every time you guys mention this and I pull up a clip, you guys immediately take it back. So do I need to do it again? She sounded very eloquent and beautifully said, but I'm not done. Again, Kamala Harris, you know her plan. She says it in her interviews time and again. And if you don't know her plan, it is so easy to go to KamalaHarris.com. If you know how to read, I assume you probably don't. Again, then you look at Donald Trump and you're saying, well, I know what Donald Trump's plans are. Okay. Donald Trump said he had a healthcare plan. What is it?
I don't know his healthcare plan.
Yeah,
I'm worried
okay.
about the
But you just said you know his plan. So Donald Trump said he had an infrastructure plan. What is it? Oh, you don't know that either.
You want to explain it to me? I just said I don't know.
I want you to tell me. You just said you know his plans and that you don't know Kamala's. Tell me his plans. Give me the healthcare plan. Give me the infrastructure plan.
I know his plans with the economy. That's all
so
I
fine
care
and
about.
dandy. You just said you know all his plans. Tell me what the infrastructure plan is. Tell me what the healthcare plan is. Go ahead. Okay, you can. Great. So then let's make clear you don't know his plans. Now, let's talk a little bit about his border plan. What is it?
He did say that on his first day he's going to close the border.
Ma'am, that's not a plan. That's like me saying tomorrow morning I'm going to put on
That's
pants.
his first step.
Okay, that's
to
like
the
me
plan.
saying, thank you, ma'am.
Then
That's
he's
not a
gonna
plan. Think of
put
it
a
this
cap
way.
on-
Ma'am, that's like me waking up in the morning and saying my plan tomorrow is to put on pajama pants. That's not the plan. How am I going to put on the pants?
He's going to close
That
the
is the
border,
plan.
then he's going to put a cap on immigration, which is probably going to be very low.
Ma'am, the cap on immigration is not Donald Trump's plan. Also, did you say, what else did you say?
I said it's going to be a low cap. Like, he's not going to let a lot of people in.
Donald Trump is not running on a cap. He has never mentioned a cap. It's not on his website. He's never said that. He is not running on the cap on immigration. No, ma'am, he didn't. That is Kamala Harris who is running on the cap. Kamala's running on the cap.
He had a cap the first time he ran.
Ma'am, no. Kamala Harris is running on the cap on immigration. Donald Trump is not. You just said Donald Trump is running on the cap on immigration. He never said that. It's not even on his website.
Did
It's
he ever
not
say
in
that
his
he
plan.
wasn't going to cap it?
Ma'am, you can't just assume he's going to. He never said he would. It's not part of his plan. Kamala said she was going to cap immigration, and you just said you supported that and that Donald Trump wanted to do it. Donald Trump doesn't. Kamala does. So do you now support Kamala's border stance?
Then why did he cap immigration
You
when
didn't
he was
answer the
president?
question. That was convenient. Answer the question.
Say it again.
So you just said you support Donald Trump's stance on capping immigration, which I'm explaining he never did such a thing. He's not running on such a thing. It's not on his website. It's not in his policy platform. It's not even on the RNC policy platform. That is a Democratic policy talking point. Kamala's running on that. So do you now endorse Kamala's stance when it comes to capping immigration? Do you endorse Kamala on that?
I do.
Okay, great. So you
But
don't know his
I still
policy
think-
when it. So
I
let me
don't
get this right.
understand why he
let me
wouldn't cap it
okay,
this
wait.
time.
Let me
He
get this
kept
right. Let me get this right though. So you're saying you can't vote for Kamala because you don't know her policies because she just won't tell you them. Which again, they're on her
If the
website,
interviews I've
KamalaHarris.com. KamalaHarris.com. Again,
You
and
can
then
type out anything, but when you ask somebody a question in person and they can't answer,
KamalaHarris.com. Pretty simple. Anybody
you
can
answer
do it,
someone a
including a
question in
walrus.
person, the
So again,
president,
listen
they should be able to
closely.
answer.
Thank you. Kamala has. If you have a processing issue and you can't understand what she's saying, that's on you. Everybody else understood perfectly fine. It's just you. Okay, so again, Kamala has a plan. Donald Trump does not, which is why you couldn't tell me his infrastructure policy. You said you don't know. Which is why you couldn't tell me his healthcare policy. You said you don't know. Which is why you said on the border he wanted to cap immigration, which isn't something he wants to do. It's what Kamala wants to do. So in fact, it's not that you support Donald Trump, you don't know his policies. It's that you're a low-informed, uneducated voter who needs to do some more research because Kamala's your candidate and you're voting against your own interests.
And that's why he's up in 2 points, because everybody,
That's not
most
true.
people in America.
Yeah, that's not true, ma'am.
Watch the news.
Yeah, ma'am, I do. You don't, which is why I know the policies and you don't. Okay? Do we need
Sorry,
to keep
I'm not a
playing?
political science person.
Ma'am, it's not political science.
It is. That's
No.
exactly what this is.
No.
You're studying politics.
No, I'm not. It's just called, being an informed voter. Anybody in the chat would have said the same exact thing. This is just you. This is a Lynn specialty. Nobody else is this ignorant. Even other MAGA Republicans in the chat can tell me about Donald Trump's policies. You can't. This is a soul.
You
this is a
really
you
think
thing.
I'm the most ignorant you've had on here? Did you hear those other
Today?
people? Dude,
Today?
come on.
Yes. Nicole, thank you so much for the $25. Oh, $25 to kick you. Okay, bye, Lynn. Let's get some W Nicoles in the chat. Bye, Lynn. Hocus pocus. Lynn, you didn't leave the live stream properly. My voice. My voice is still coming out of your cell phone, Lynn. Lynn, you need to come back and leave properly. Or you could shut off your phone entirely. But by just exiting, my voice is part of your phone now. I will be here for the rest of your life unless you shut down your phone completely or come back in and leave the live stream properly. So you could shut down the phone completely or leave the live stream properly. Otherwise, I'm going to be here for your Hanukkah. I'll be here for your Christmas. There you go. You did it. She was frantically shutting down her phone like, oh my gosh, get him out, get him out, get him out. I'm like, we're going to be spending Valentine's Day together. She's like, no! Let's get up our next guest. Oh, she was a fun one. Hi, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I'm voting for that.
Okay, you sound like you're speaking into a coconut. Folks, what do you say? Should we call it? Should we call it for today? I don't know if we should call it for today. I don't know if we should call it or keep going. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Okay, we'll do one more. Let's try to get another one. We'll do a couple more. We'll do a couple more. John, I swear, if you make us Johns look bad, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah, I'm voting for him.
Okay. If one more European comes up here and pretends they're a Trump supporter, I'm going to go buy a bucket of tea and throw it in the Boston Harbor. Okay? I'm going to do my own Boston Harbor tea party. Like, I'm going to do my own Boston tea party. And y'all are going to come. We're going to have fun. It'll be great. We'll do a Boston tea party. Y'all want to come with? You guys want to come with? Let's go spend the day in Boston and throw tea in the harbor. Because I just... Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I'm not.
Nice. So thank you for coming up. I appreciate it, Sherry. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a chat. I am just looking to talk to some Trump supporters right now. We do days where we talk to Kamala supporters as well, but today is a Trump day, so we are just looking to talk to some Trump supporters. Folks, if you like what you heard today and you want to support me, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in my bio. I use those funds as I travel around the state, meeting voters, which again, sorry why this live stream was so late. That is because I was stuck in conversations with voters. Not stuck. They were good conversations. We did flip a Republican, so it was worth it. But that is why today's live stream was so late. So sorry about that. We're traveling. Oh, I'm not actually going to say where I am. I'm not going to say where I am. I don't need to do all that. Guest, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
I'm actually, I'm not sure which one I'm voting for right now. I've had a lot of things thrown at me these last couple months about all the politics, and it would be my first year voting, and I don't know. I feel like I come from a very conservative family.
Sarah, if you have any questions, feel free to message me about it and we could talk about which candidate will be best for you. But we are less than 2 weeks out from the election, and there is no way, and I mean this sincerely, there is no way any reasonable person is undecided by this point. So if you are undecided and you are a reasonable person, message me and we'll get this figured out as quickly as possible, I promise you, okay? We'll have a more productive conversation, though, than we will on this live stream, and I sincerely mean that. All right? Okay. Message me if you have any questions about the candidates and we can discuss. But I want to do this more productively. Michael, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
That's disgusting.
Is it? So why is it so? I mean, right off the back, that's just crazy for you to say that. Just because
Not really.
because I have a different political view.
No, because if you said, let's get this right.
Well,
if you said you were,
So
quiet time. So again, if you were saying that you were voting for Nikki Haley, then we could have a conversation and it wouldn't be that disgusting. I don't like Nikki Haley, but at least she's not a felon, civil fraudster, somebody who was found liable of sexual abuse. It is disgusting to vote for somebody who was found liable of sexual abuse. Yeah, what I said was justified. Understood? If it was any other Republican, it wouldn't be disgusting. It's Donald Trump. Okay, you might as well say you're voting for George Santos. So why are you voting for the felon?
For one, he was never found guilty of
He
these
literally was.
allegations.
No, he was. Yeah, he was.
When?
Sir,
When?
go to Google right now. I am playing with you.
Was not.
Maybe you'll have a
So-
learning opportunity. Quiet
Okay,
time, Michael.
so-
Michael,
Jesus
go to
Christ.
Google, type it in, look up Donald Trump guilty, and you'll have 1,000 sources on it, starting with AP at the top. Okay, do you need to look it up, or do you want to admit that you're lying?
Fine. No, that's fine. Okay.
Okay, so you understand that Donald Trump was found guilty on 34 felony counts.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Even a convicted felon. Sure, he is a convicted felon, whatever. You cannot compare the last 4 years that has been so shit as far as like the economy, the world, all these issues going on throughout the world, all the immigrants that are coming in, the veteran percent or the homelessness of veterans went up from 7% to 14%. The immigrants that are coming in are getting more food stamps than
Lies.
actual citizens. And
First
that
off,
is not
that
a lie.
was
No,
wrong. I'm
you
not
get-
done.
No.
I'm not done. Thank you.
You spoke, so let me
Thank you.
talk now. I'm
Thank
just saying,
you.
though, I just let you talk.
Thank
So now
you.
I'm telling you
Thank
what's
you.
like what is going on.
Thank you. You didn't
Because
let
the
me
fact
speak.
is that when
Hold on.
two
Thank
people
you.
don't-
Thank
when two
you.
people don't agree
Thank you.
on-
Quiet time. You didn't let me speak. When you let me oh, you just ran away? I was just going to call you ran away. You ran away solely because I muted you because you were lying about your stats. You just lied about homeless veteran stats. Shame on you. Shame on you for using veterans, and more specifically homeless veterans, as a political talking point. Like, you understand that shame on you. That's disgusting. You just politicized homeless veterans for a talking point, and when I went to call you out on it, you ran away. Shame on you. Shame on you. Like, sincerely, I mean this. I'm not just saying this. Shame on you. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. You used homeless veterans as a stat and you didn't even do it right. Shame on you. Jeffrey, hi. Are you voting for the criminal?
Hello?
Hello. Depends. Are you voting for the criminal?
Oh, hey, man. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, then I wish I couldn't hear you, but I guess we're here. So why are you voting for the criminal?
Well, honestly, I haven't really heard any good things about Kamala.
Who is Kamala?
I mean, Harris. You know,
What's your first name?
Jeffrey.
Okay. When you came up here and I said, hi, Jeffrey, why are you voting for the felon? I didn't say, hi, Joffrey, but I could have mocked your name. Okay, it's a pretty easy name. Can you say Kamala?
Sure, Kamala.
Look at that. Okay, so why are you voting for Donald Trump?
I'm voting for him because I see when he was president, I'm a construction worker. So when he was a president in 2017, I felt 2017, 2018, 2019, and then that's where around the pandemic hit, give or take, right? So all those years, I had overtime. I had X amount of jobs. We was working. I saved up $15,000.
You did.
I just.
Thanks, Obama. I want to point out two parts. One, thanks, Obama, because the years that you're talking about are the years at the get-go of Donald Trump's economy, where you were still feeling the experiences from Barack Obama's economy. Donald Trump wasn't initiating policies at that point that would have accomplished what you're crediting him for. That would have been Obama. Second point I want to make clear here, when you're saying, oh, well, I made $15,000 and blah, 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 congrats. But then give yourself some credit as well. Say, thanks, Obama, and then say, thanks, Jeffrey. You did that, Jeffrey. You did that. Donald Trump didn't do that for you. Credit yourself.
Yeah, I know. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. But you see, and now in this economy, I guess, so you're saying like now we're like in Trump's economy because that's the one that just passed. Now I haven't been able to save up that much money. It's been harder. And, jobs don't come. I mean, I guess it's after the pandemic, so I guess that's a strong point right there. And I heard horrible things about Kamala Harris. Harris. I've heard horrible things about.
Well, let's stay on the economy real quick. First, economically, I want to better explain this. One, yes, you mentioned the pandemic, and that's correct, because Joe Biden's economy has been almost entirely pandemic response focused, but he is successfully getting us back to pre-pandemic levels across the board. Inflation right now is 2.4%, for example, which is exactly what it was in 2018 before the pandemic hit. So that's a win. Now, if the cost at the grocery store is still high, that's not because of Joe Biden or Donald Trump. That is because of corporations price gouging, like Kroger, who is getting investigated for price gouging, whose CEO admitted just last month, I think last month, as of today, exactly a month, admitted a month ago that they were price gouging. That's because of corporations and corporate greed. That has nothing to do with Joe Biden. I also want to recognize here that Kamala Harris does have a plan to ban price gouging and lower costs across the board. Donald Trump has no such plan because Donald Trump doesn't care about price gouging. The same way when Donald Trump initiated plans, they were always corporate focused. Like the Jobs and Tax Act of 2017, it gave a 14% corporate tax deduction to Walmart, Amazon, Microsoft, who are already making record high profits, but it gave middle class Americans like you and me 1 to 2%.
Okay. Yeah, that, I mean, you know, some people, yeah, I get what you mean. But, you know, it's just, I don't see how this last 4 years are any, you know, like, she's been BP, why hasn't she done it? You get what I'm saying?
That doesn't make any sense. What is the job of the vice president?
I guess do everything the president says, right?
No.
What the hell do you have on?
that is not the job of the vice president. So the vice president has 2 roles. What are they?
I don't beat.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know them.
The vice president takes over for the president if the president, for example, Lyndon B. Johnson took over for John F. Kennedy. Okay. The second role is to preside over the Senate if there's a tie-breaking vote that's needed. Now, the president can use the vice president as an advisor, but they never do. Ever. So to be clear, they never do ever, and that's not unusual, guys, for the chat as well. That is not an unusual thing. The president typically follows their own stance. Donald Trump didn't use Mike Pence as an advisor. Obama did use Joe Biden as an advisor, okay? But like, you know, Clinton didn't use Gore as an advisor. This isn't new. So I want to be clear on this. That's not a constitutional role. The only 2 roles are what I just said. They could use somebody as an advisor like you're suggesting, but they don't. They never do.
Okay, so then pretty much they just stand there on the side until they're called. Much. Wow. Okay.
That's not unusual. Think about it this way. You have a lieutenant governor and a governor. Do you know who your lieutenant governor is?
I just know my governor.
Right. You know your governor, you don't know who your lieutenant governor is, but the lieutenant governor is the equivalent of your state's vice president. You're not supposed to know who they are. They are a constitutional role. They are prepping for the governorship. Someday, your lieutenant governor will become governor, and then you'll know them. Until then, they're going to continue learning from the governor until it's time for them to step into the role.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Do you think it's okay for these politicians to be in politics 40 plus years, 30 plus years?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 52, and I've been in politics since, like, I was, you know, a child, so.
No, you're not. You're not 52. What the hell? So yeah, man. I mean, it's just I just feel like I've heard so horrible things about California, San Francisco. I heard San Francisco is in shambles because of Harris.
That's an opinion, but I also want to make very clear here, right? 2 points. One being Donald Trump is going to be if he wins, he would be the oldest president in our nation's history. And 2, he's been campaigning for president for a decade. Okay, if anybody should leave politics, it's probably the felon who is borderline writing dementia, okay, who says that his wife, Mercedes Trump, and the Speaker of the House, Nikki Haley, and sharks and batteries, and blah, blah, blah. We don't need that in the White House, and I definitely don't feel comfortable giving that the nuclear codes, because he'll probably think it's like his way to order a Diet Coke from McDonald's. We'll type in the nuclear code and nuke Russia. I don't need that.
Since you're very well informed about all this, how come when he was this is one of the ones you hear all the time. How come when he was president there was no new wars? What do you think about that one?
Okay, well, 2 points. First off, Russia and Ukraine had a conflict that's been going on for well over a decade. This isn't new. It's not because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. No. Same thing with, I'm not done though, Gaza and Israel as well. Not because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's been going on for decades and decades before you and I were born. Okay. Now I want to make clear here, you're suggesting that new wars were started under Joe Biden. No, new wars were already underway. These conflicts have been going on for decades. The tipping point, like October 7th, took place not because of Joe Biden, had nothing to do with Joe Biden or the United States. that is a conflict outside of us. And I know that we as Americans like to think we're the center of the universe because we are a superpower in the world. Nope, two countries can go at it and have nothing to do with us. This is like if what's another good example, chat? What do we got here? This is like World War II, like blaming the US for it. No. Okay, so no new wars began because of Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. So that same point stands for them. But we can talk about Afghanistan with Donald Trump. We could talk about how he oversaw the largest genocide, starvation in Yemen. We could talk about how he abandoned the Kurds. Good example. Somebody just said, who said that? North Korea, South Korea. Wayward traveler, thank you. That's like saying that Joe Biden's to blame for the conflict between South Korea and North Korea that's been going on for decades, has nothing to do with Joe Biden, has nothing to do with America. That is solely because of them.
Okay. So do you believe when Trump says if he becomes president, that same day Ukraine and Russia will stop and be in a war?
Well, first off, listen, it would be a win for Donald Trump if on his first day as president he didn't croak. Okay, guy's borderline 1 foot in the grave, right? The guy's old.
Yeah, he's old.
All right. Now, second point being, Donald Trump doesn't have a plan or a solution to end the conflict. He keeps saying he has a concept of a plan, and he's not actually telling us what he's going to do. So no, we can't trust that he will end the conflict. I mean, this is the same guy, Donald Trump, who couldn't negotiate a deal with Vladimir Putin to bring home U.S. Marine Paul Whelan. Joe Biden did. Donald Trump didn't do that. So how am I supposed to believe he's going to negotiate a deal with Vladimir Putin to end a war? He couldn't bring home one single Marine. How is he going to negotiate a deal to end the war?
Because I heard Trump was like friends. Well, not friends, but like, he's trying to make peace, be in peace with Putin and with Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping. And, you start to be cool with everybody so there's no wars happening. But,
Anyhow, listen, it's about midnight on the East Coast, and I have a big day tomorrow of meeting some more voters and stuff in the morning, so I do want to get to that. I appreciate you coming up. If you have any more questions about these candidates, feel free to message me, but Kamala's your candidate. I mean, Donald Trump ain't it. Donald Trump is not it.
I just wish, do you know anybody that could replace Kamala? Any other Democrat?
My guy, listen. Y'all wanted us to replace Joe Biden. We did. Now you got Kamala and you want us to replace her. Get over it. Listen, if anybody should be replaced here, it's Donald Trump, okay? Y'all had the choice to put y'all had the choice to put Nikki Haley into that position, and you folks didn't do it. Now you're expected to lose the presidency, and that's because of you. If this was Joe Biden against Nikki Haley would win. It's Kamala Harris against Donald Trump, and you're about to be saying Madam President for the next 8 years. Get ready. It's Kamala. It's gonna be Kamala. Okay, let's just get that right. But anyhow, you have a good one.
Man. Hey, thanks for everything, bro. See ya.
Alrighty, folks. I think we're gonna end it here for the night. If you did tune in and you like what you heard today, feel free, hit that follow button in the top left corner and join our little family. Would love for you to be part of the Blue Wave, the community we got here. Other than that, I think we're gonna end it. For all of y'all on the East Coast, thanks for tuning in so late tonight. For all of y'all on the West Coast, I hope you're having a good late dinner, or maybe getting ready for bed, I guess. See y'all later, okay? And thank you to our mods for keeping the chat nice and clean. I really appreciate our moderators. W mods in the chat, please. Thank you to our mods for taking the time so late in the night to keep everything organized for us and to create this safe space in the chat for us. Thank you so much. And also, thank you again to everybody who was like the Venmoing, the PayPaling, the Cash Apping. First off, never feel pressure to do that, please. But to everybody who did, thank you so much. I mean, that is so kind. Like, that is your hard-earned money, and I appreciate it. And I want you to know that those dollars, they go towards, and I'll tell you right now, it goes towards, right now, to my traveling as I continue meeting voters in person. So, for example, I went over the past 2 weeks, I've gone from like Erie to Philadelphia to the Poconos, back down to Philadelphia to Center County, Penn State, going from a campus on UPenn, going back to Erie, Pittsburgh, Greene County, the rural communities. That goes towards that travel. So thank you so much. That is beyond kind. And I want you to know that I'm not ignoring that. Like, that is beyond kind. And I know that you don't have to do that. So thank you so much. Anyhow, folks, we're gonna come back on tomorrow.